What's up, my friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. That was a cool little spot here in Atlanta that I flew yesterday. T-Bird was hanging out, yeah, really good little rip. Really challenging spot. Holy cow! That's one of the toughest spots I've maybe ever flown. Here comes another quick. Here's the last battery that I flew there, which didn't last super long, but there's me shaking. Oh, the mic died on the mic shit the bed on the session. That's interesting. That's kind of annoying. So this is my full-time job now. If you'd like to see more sketchy flying like this, please head on over to please head on over to CiottiFPV.com and click some buttons. Patreon helps me out the most. Am I gonna fly here? Am I gonna take back off? There we go. Patreon helps me the most. We are gonna finish up the 200 patron giveaway builds. We crossed 200 patrons, And so yeah, as soon as this build is done, we're going to be doing a drawing for all of the patrons, and somebody's going to win a full build. QAV-S frame, 2206.5 T-motors, T-motor ESC and flight controller, Xylo VTX, and no receiver because I don't know what protocol you guys are on. So yeah, now's a great time to join the Patreon because you'll get entered to win this thing. CiottiFPV.com, very top link, will bring you over to the Patreon page. This giveaway is going to be for everyone. So $3 tier, $5 tier, $10, $20, whatever. Whatever tier you're on, you'll be entered to win this rig that should be able to finish it here today. Also over there on CiottiFPV.com are a whole bunch of affiliate links. If you or anybody you know is ever doing an order on FPV Crate, FPV Cycle, Oh My God's website, Get FPV, Amazon, and a couple of other websites, if you hit my affiliate links before you complete your order, I'm watching this too. I haven't seen this footage yet. Oh, that was dirty. That was dirty. Yeah, I can get free money. I'll get between 1% and 6% of your entire order. And you can still use coupon codes and free shipping and all that good stuff. Oh, God, just getting in there. I don't know what the hell happened there. The one motor was doing something a little strange. Yeah, it really, I don't know, it was almost like there was a prop loose. I don't know, we're gonna look at that rig here in a bit. One of the motor wires actually broke off after that crash, which could have been the issue. That motor wire could have just been holding on by like a strand or two of wire. T-Bird says, I think that was Buzz GoPro. It's not, actually. Buzz GoPro is still sitting on the couch. But now I have two Buzz GoPros, I guess. So yeah, click some buttons over on CiottiFPV.com so that I can keep doing this and keep giving you guys lovely smash and crash footage. There's a Fiverr store. I want to help you fly a little bit better. If you want to fly like what you just saw, I can help you out. I actually did an hour-long session with T-Bird yesterday. By the end of these sessions that I do with these awesome people that hire me over on Fiverr, they visibly fly better at the end of the session. And I also set everybody up with a bunch of drills to do, typically, so that you can go into Velocidrone afterwards and do a bunch of these drills. And it really, really helps, right? You go to school, you learn from teachers because they're better than you and they can break it down and help you learn quicker. I want to do the same thing. So hire me. FPV flight instruction, flight coaching is half off over on Fiverr. At some point, it's going to go up to my normal rates of $40 a half an hour, $80 an hour. But right now, it's half off. So now's a really good time to kind of get in there. I just want to do as much of it as possible right now to develop as good of a vocabulary as I possibly can for working with students so that I can then move forward with it. So take advantage of that because the prices are going to be doubled pretty soon. Bunch of other good stuff, t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts that are really, really, really good quality. You ever buy a t-shirt and it's like noticeably better quality? Those are the ones that I have over on Teespring. So if you just want a nice t-shirt that happens to have my logo on it, yeah, you can do that. They're the ultra premium fancy shirts over there. Treat yourself, motherfuckers. In the chat, Christian Vloat was first, Patio Patterson came next, then it was Tom Ward, I Am Knobs is here, I Am Knobs, you better behave. Huff 19 FPV, CMYK, Bob Noxious, Frank Nicholas, Tweet FPV, Brundog 807, Finn FPV in the house, Tom Ward, License to Drive Again, EBR FPV, Gary Higgins, Paul McDonald, Sun at the Beach, Northern Tier, Patio Patterson, Lewis, Moto Ref, Gel Captain, Remy Tim, FPV Trucker, Cricket FPV. The Cricket FPV is in the house. Let's make him a moderator. Cricket, I haven't seen you in here before, man. Thanks for coming. Everybody say hi to Cricket. Cricket! Hi, Corey! Hi! Cricket's one of my best friends in FPV, man. We don't talk super often, but every time we hang out, it's like we've been besties. Oh, that word. Oh, that word. I can't believe it just came out of my shitty mouth. Yeah, I don't know. Cricket's a skinny guy, so maybe it's that skinny guy energy. Maybe it's that high metabolism energy that makes us best friends. Gary Higgins says, where can you pick up the QAV-S frame Joshua just had? I think FPV Crate is the only place, and if you do an FPV Crate order, do me a huge favor and hit my affiliate link before you do it. I don't really know anything about it. I've got mine sitting in a box here. I still need to do 2 FPV Crate unboxings. Things have been a little rough lately in my personal life, as some of you know. And I'm just trying my best. I'm behind on a lot of stuff. I appreciate you guys that have won giveaways being cool. I'm trying my best. Yeah, I got some pretty nasty shit going on, but one day at a time, I'll get your guys' stuff out, I promise. And yeah, it's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine, I hope. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you need to do is say my name by typing it. You don't need to type an @ in front of it, but you certainly can. If you type CiottiFPV, it'll show up in orange, and I'll know that you're talking to me. If you don't do that, I'll assume that you guys are talking to each other. So yeah, if you want to talk directly, or you can do a super chat if you want to support me so that I can keep on doing this each and every day. Or you can jump over to CiottiFPV.com, and there's a PayPal button. If you don't want YouTube to take your 30%, you can use PayPal. There we go. That's all the shilling I'll do for the day. People that have tagged me in the chat so far: CMYKFPV saying hello, TweetFPV saying what's up. Everybody go sub to TweetFPV. He's a great guy making great content over there. TWEETFPV. He's been a supporter of the channel and my giveaways for a long time. And Dan is just a great human being making awesome stuff. So go sub to TweetFPV or I will kill you in your sleep. Gary Higgins says what's up. FPV Trucker says, hey, CiottiFPV, send it. Gary Higgins said, oh, we got that. Patio Patterson says, blue socks on point, Ciotti. How'd you know I have blue socks? Patio Patterson, how'd you know that? Oh, from the video. Yeah, those are my bacon egg socks. I don't know. Cute chicks comment on wacky socks, so I'm just playing the fucking numbers, man. It's a goddamn numbers game. Double A saying what's up. Gel Captain calling me a handsome bastard. CH3FPV saying what? CiottiFPV saying in the butt. T-Bird FPV says what's up. Both worked fine when I got home. Of course they did. Michael Blades saying hey. Haveboard saying what's up. Scrolling. Don Ladd saying, I've been out flying most of the day today. It's been great. A load of us went to 6 or 7 spots. We had a generator to charge batteries. Weather was great. All the way broke was a motor and an arm. Props. Very cool, Don. That's a hell of a Sunday, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, Cricket, you came to the right fucking... You came to the... No, it's super weird. I think I wore this shirt on a stream last week, maybe not. This might be the first time I wore this shirt, and Cricket's up in here. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, Cricket hooked me up with this shirt in after Rampage when him and Slat and Erod and a bunch of the fellas came to Atlanta, and we flew a bunch of spots Monday and Tuesday, and Cricket hooked me up with this shirt, and I love it. It's super awesome. I wish it was a medium, though. Cricket, you fellow small guy. Do you really wear large, Corey? No, you probably wear medium like me, right? Pretty soon I'll be busting out of my medium shirts, man. I'm getting big. Sorry you guys had to witness that outburst. Matthew Vega is in the house as well. He says, I would be too scared to fly under someone else's truck. Yeah, once you've done it a couple hundred times, it's kind of like, eh. What am I gonna hurt? What am I gonna leave a little scratch in the exhaust? Once you get under there, like, there's nothing that, you know, our frames aren't gonna hurt anything. Plus, the top of all my rigs is TPU and battery, so even if I bounce up into something, I mean, it's not gonna do anything. Sun at the Beach says, Cricket FPV, CiottiFPV, do you guys know where all the 250 4-inch frames are at? I do not, but I mean, like, we had Chinese New Year, we've had the pandemic, so, like, it's all over the place. Like, trying to keep anything in stock right now in any industry is pretty impossible. So you just got to be as patient as you can. I think Tommy might have sent me, like, one of the first sets that came in, so that I could do the build, but then I immediately realized that the RunCam hybrid wouldn't clear the camera cage, so he's redesigning the not redesigning, he's designing a separate 250 camera cage designed for the RunCam hybrid. If you want to light a little bit of a fire under his ass and build yourself an analog 4-inch 250 or 5-inch that runs on a RunCam hybrid, which is just the absolute end-all be-all of 4K onboard split style proper FPV view cameras, leave a message, leave a comment, do something, reach out to Tommy in some way, shape, or form and say, hey, hurry up. Also message me. I've been starting a little list of people who want 250 RunCam hybrid camera cages, because Tommy and I talk, I don't know, once a week, once every other week or so, and we're going to be talking more in the near future here about some stuff that's going on. So yeah, let me know as well that you want to build a 250 with a RunCam hybrid. I'll put you on the list, and then every time I talk to Tommy, I'm like, hey, I got another person on the list. He wants 3 cages because he crashes hard like me. Stuff like that. So yeah, do it. Wow, YouTube, how fucking far am I gonna have to oh god, I can't even speak. Scroll to find my place. YouTube did the thing, it fucked the chat up. You guys know what's up. Mr. Huggy says, you breaking windows? No, we can't break windows, man. I've hit 100 windows, probably more than 100 windows. They don't break. Frank Nicholas dropping the link to CiottiFPV.com. Thank you, Frank. CMYK says, how's the FPV instructor site coming? Andre from Rotor Riot has been pretty busy, so I actually, I haven't bugged him, but thanks for the reminder, because I am gonna bug him, because it's been, I try to only bug people like every other week or so, like people that are doing something either at a discount or out of the kindness of their own hearts for me. I try to only bug them like every other week. Need anything else from me? Alright, cool. Thanks for the reminder, brother. When was the last time oh wow, it's been over a month. Okay. Okay. I waited a long time. That's fine. I'd rather wait too long than not long enough, you know what I'm saying? Cool Coyote says, how's your 3-inch frame coming? Alright, there's another quick reminder email that I gotta send. Ryan Harrell graciously did a whole bunch of work on the 3-inch freestyle frame, and then he got really busy as well, and I've been same kind of deal, just kind of trying not to bug him. Come on, there he is. Let me see when the last time is that I talked. Oh god, I almost threw up. I talked to him last week, so I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. Awesome. Yeah, I always try not to bite the hand that feeds me. In a weird way. Huff19FPV says, loving that Moon Goat shirt. Me too, Huff. The design is super cool. Somebody asked who designed it. I agree. Who did design this? Is this a Zorro? This has shades of Zorro, maybe? Maybe Maddie Blunts? Who did the design for this, Corey? Corey, by the way, I made you a moderator just so that your name shows up in blue. Don't feel like you have to moderate. In fact, like, unless you really want to, don't moderate. I have a bunch of really good moderators that have it under control. I mean, so if you want to kick somebody, by all means. because it'll tell them you're the one that did it. So they'll know who to unsubscribe from. MotorFFPV says, idea for future full build giveaways. Do the giveaway first, then ask when a receiver they're on, and you're able to fly and tune to their needs. Win-win. Would that work? It would work, MotorRef, but I'm kind of a... I don't know. I don't know if I should feel like a shit about doing it this way, but I didn't do that, and then I realized, well, as I do the build, more people can kind of join the Patreon, and I kind of need as many people to join the Patreon as possible. So by doing it this way, like, I give as many people as possible chances to get in. That's probably like a shitty thing for me to do, because I should have probably done the giveaway exactly at 200 to incentive, as a thank you to those 200 people. But your boy's got to eat, and it would be awesome to get health insurance at some point here, and a functioning computer so that I can stream in 1080 instead of 720. So sorry, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, MotorF, I mean, that would definitely be the intelligent way to do it. So that's pretty much explains why I didn't do it that way. T-Bird says, and you're wearing a shirt. KVFPV says, what up? DQ says, I feel you on that shirt, currently going through something similar. Oh, feel you on that shit, currently going through something similar. We'll get through it together, DQ. Zach Lothamer says, that QAV frame is Joshua's version, Andy's FPV... Andy's? Oh, End is FPV Great exclusive for the month. Yes, Zach, that's what is sitting down here on the floor, is an unopened FPV Crate box that I need to do the unboxing like I do every month. So I just gotta get some find some time. Not find some time. I need to find some brain space and motivation and mental I don't know, words. Joey Whitaker says, what's up? Guillermo says, where's Tiago Ramos? I don't know, Guillermo. Message him. Ask him how he's doing. I meant to message him yesterday, but I forgot. Bob Noxious says, you got this, man. Adversity only makes us stronger. It certainly does. Journey Droid says, testosterone spiking, LOL. Yeah, right. YouTube just did the thing. Scrolling back up. Joey Whitaker says, where did you find the bench mat? Amazon, Joey. Message me if you can't. Just type like black cutting mat into Amazon. You should be able to find it. If you can't, shoot me a message. CiottiFPV all over the place, and I'll go into my previous orders and send you a link. CMYK says, cheers. Journey Droid says, any disadvantages to running high KV with TCAT? So you don't want a throttle cap, you want a motor limit versus low KV equivalent. Droid, the only disadvantage is a very slight decrease in efficiency and raw horsepower. You can make up for the horsepower difference by turning the motor limiting up, typically, unless you're absolutely, completely saturating the motors, which most of us are not. So then the only other disadvantage is a little tiny bit less efficiency. I've had 3 rigs for the last almost a year, and at any given time, 2 of those rigs have been either 1950 kV or 2400 kV or vice versa. And I have flown these 3 rigs hundreds of times now. I have had friends plug them in so that I do a fully blind test. I have myself lost track of which ones are on which motors, and I have never felt or seen any difference in actual efficiency in terms of runtime. I've never gone and just flown the exact same flight path for the entire battery on the rigs A to B. Okay? So this is sort of unscientific testing that I've done. I've gone out and I've flown freestyle. When you go out and you fly freestyle, every single battery you fly a little bit different. But the point is, there's never been a single time where I've been able to point at the 2400 rig and say, I know that that's the 2400 kV rig, or I can see that that rig is giving me less runtime. And for me, that's all that matters. Like, I don't care. Like, maybe there's 10 seconds more runtime out of a 1950 kV motor over a 2400 on 6S with the motor limiting pulled down. I don't give a shit. Like, if yeah, here's the thing, right? The T-Motor 1950 kV motors, I have to motor limit those down anyway. I have to motor limit those down to like 85% anyway. So and that's kind of like that's a perfect situation, because in that case, if I go to a really big spot, I can turn the power up to 100 and get a bunch more horsepower out of them. I don't necessarily need a 2400 kV motor that I'm going to then run on 6S. So the 1950s are really kind of perfect for me. The only thing that I lose if I were to switch all the way over to the 1950s versus the 2400s is that if I forget all of my 6S batteries, or for whatever reason, if I run out of 6S batteries and I don't have a way of recharging them, if I'm out flying with someone else who has 4S batteries, I'm good to go. Even on the 1950 kV rig, in that scenario, I can turn it up to 100%, and I can still run 4S. It's not going to fly it's not going to fly like full-on crazy freestyle, right? But I can still fly it. But if I were to go 2400 on everything and motor limit it down to like 70%, 65%, in that scenario, I'd be able to fly hard freestyle on 4S batteries. That situation has only happened to me once. There's only been one situation in the last year that I've been out flying with people, and for whatever reason, I needed to use somebody else's battery, and they were on 4S. So, for me, like, for example, as I buy more T-Motor F40 Pro 4s, I'm buying them in 1950 kV. Because the occurrences of me, it's a little bit more efficient. And it's going to work no matter what. And I break a shitload of motors. For you guys, or for somebody that's on 4S right now, that's interested in going to 6S, which you should be, you should stop buying 4S 1300 and 1500 mAh batteries and just start buying 6S batteries. There's just no reason not to with motor limiting. For that person, maybe keep buying 2400 kV. Or if you fly with other people that are on 4S, or like, there's a number of different reasons. But for me personally, I'm now buying 1950 kV motors because they're fine. I go back and forth though. Like, there's days where I'm like, what? No, it's fine. You don't need those extra couple seconds of efficiency. Well, maybe I do. I mean, if I'm out doing a paid gig and I'm limping home because I flew out a little bit too far, 10 extra seconds of runtime would kind of be nice. I don't know. I don't think there's I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. But what I want you guys to understand is that 2400 kV motors, motor limited down on 6S, absolutely works. And it absolutely works completely fine. And you should all look at your specific use case. That's what happens when I accidentally use corporate jargon words. You should look at you should make the decision for yourself. Cool. Good question, Drenny Dread. FPV Trucker says Castro Neves for the win. Castro Neves was a IndyCar driver, wasn't he? He won the... Yep, he is. He won the 500. Very cool. What a fucking name, right? Helio Castro Neves. What a name. If that's your name, you got a big dick. T-Bird FPV says, Don Lads will do. I've had it for a while. Want it here from CiottiFPV. I like the feel. Lots easier to reach, but it's really slick. Hoping the grips will fix that. Sounds like you guys are talking about transmitters. Patio Patterson is wondering how I could be so obtuse. I don't know. I'm just a piece of shit, I guess. It sounds like. Oh, you guys are talking about the Tango too. Okay, very cool. Very, very cool. Cool. I think we're good. I think I'm caught up on chat. Let's get some shit done. Here we go. We are gonna dig in and finish the rest of this QAV-S build. Patio Patterson, if you don't like me being obtuse, you can go. It's all good. Nothing keeping you here. All right. So we got all the soldering done. We got all the routing done. Basically, all we need to do is screw everything down. I'm going to put some heat transfer tape on this VTX. And that's kind of it. There's not really much left to do on this rig. I got the ESC to flight controller harness in here. Let's throw the camera in there. That'll feel good. It'll feel good to mount the camera. Ooh, I got a rando container. All right, and I wonder if those little guys are long enough. Are you little fellas long enough to get through this big thick side plate? Nah, not really. Not really. What about that fella? Nah. He's a little too short as well. Alright. What do we got here? We got... I'll bet you an M2 by 5 is the right size. Although, let me try by 4 first. Nah, it's a by 4. Yeah. It's a by 4 for sure. Okay, cool. So we got one. And let's try to find a matching one. Yeah, close enough. No, they actually are matching. Tark61 says, I even run 6S on my QAV-S Mini with motor limiting. Nice, Tark. Yeah, that's what I have on my... that's what I have on the Acrobrat. And it works totally fine. It's... I don't know, it's crazy, man. Like, it's... I feel like it shouldn't, but it does. Kind of thing. Like, the whole motor limiting thing... Oh my god, what the hell? What? What did... Wait, what? Why are these... You gotta be shitting me. Is this sized for a mini cam? No. No. What? Oddly enough, I have a mini cam somewhere. Mini cams are 21 by 21. Micro cams are 19 by 19. I'm pretty sure I have a mini cam floating around from a giveaway. Oh boy. Wow, okay. I am confused. Here it is. Wow. Wow, it is. It's sized for a mini cam. Why? Why would they do that? That's just not... What? Really? Wow, okay. I'm very... Oh, that's the wrong goddamn plug. Actually, it's not the wrong plug. Oh, Jesus. Okay, maybe it's not the wrong plug. Hold on, let me see. Wow, I'm very I'm shocked and confused all at the same time. Okay. So got kind of lucky here. Nope, I'm good. I'm good on the plug. Wow. Okay. Got very lucky on this one. Not gonna complain though. All right. So this is sized for a mini cam. Duly noted. And now I also need 2 more of these screws. So we got a mini cam here. This is a Foxier something or other. I'm so thrown off. Holy cow. I can't believe anybody is making frames for minicams still. That's That seems nuts to me. Wow. Okay. Sure. Fine. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a little heavy because of this. I don't know. I thought that all the frame designers abandoned. My God, I'm flustered. I'm very confused. Hey, by the way, I'm also having a horrible allergy attack. So I hope you like hearing grown men sniffle and snort for 2 hours because yeah, that's what you're gonna get here today. There's nothing I can do or say about it. Patio Patterson says, nothing but love. Keep it up. Thanks, brother. I don't know if you're being facetious with that or what. Sometimes I get trolls and I like to attack them. It's fun. Makes me feel better. Okay. All right. So I need 2 more of these M2x4s. Trying to see if I can find those same little ones so that it's a matching set. Get off of there. Get off. Stop it. I need to get one of those demagnetizing jib jabs because these tweezers became magnetized and I hate it. Oh, I could probably just pick one of those up on the Amazon, I'll bet. Hold on. I'm going to go search for that right now because there's no way that I'll remember to search for that until the next time that I don't know, I just might never remember again. Okay, so the person that wins this is going to get a Foxier flippity flab. What's this called? Falcor? Falcor? Foxier Falco? Falco X? Falcor X? Why is this not threading? What's happening here? Is it going? There it goes. Alright, we're all set. Alright, we got our camera mounted. That's exciting. Are you guys not entertained? No? Oh well. Come on! Oh God, get out of there. Okay, I guess this Cadix Rattel, I believe it is, Micro is going to be in giveaway coming soon. Throw it over there by the giveaway closet. Oh! Demagnetizer. Amazon. Demagnetizer. No. I just need the little... Yeah, that's what I need. That's it. No, and it's made by Weeha. Isn't that nice of them? Oh, choice of colors. Here comes a sneeze. What's this one? They look exactly the same. Oh, God. I'm gonna sneeze. Yo, my fucking allergies have been such jerk-offs lately. I don't get it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it. Why are you almost $1 less? You over here on the right one? Oh, because of the delivery. Got it. Add to cart. Oh, my God. Michael Blades is out of here. Thanks for hanging, brother. Oh my God, my eyes just like full-blown exploded. Ugh. Drone pilot is in Australia. It's 5:40 a.m. Holy cow. DQ says the QAV-S is built for a mini cam because it's a Lumineer / CiottiFPV frame, which are all throwbacks to 2014. Thanks for saying that, DQ, so that I didn't have to and look like an asshole. Oh, I fucking love you guys. Oh, shit. Oh, boy. I hope Ryan's not watching this. Ryan Harrell is the one that actually designed this frame, and Ryan's a great guy. But I do know that there was a set of... I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure that there was a set of requirements that he had to design the frame around. And it would not surprise me if that was one of them. TQ. We were all thinking it. DQ just went ahead and said it. All right, cool. So get him, DQ. So this is heat. This is heat transfer tape that you can get from Amazon. So yeah, I'm gonna use this. It looks like I can use double wide. Yeah, sure enough. Oh, good stuff, DQ. Good shit, man. Man. I love when I'm not the only one just, like, attacking products. Like, it made me feel so good when I was trashing on that Ishin, or whatever the hell it was, long-range frame on Joshua's stream a minute ago. And Joshua goes, see, this is why I love Ciotti. He's not afraid to just shit all over something. like, I really do, and I promise you guys that I'm making an effort to not be that way. Because, like, I don't know. I haven't really put my foot in my mouth too hard yet, but it's only a matter of time. And, like, I don't know. I could fuck up, like a sponsorship or like, something cool, right? And, like, not all... I don't know. I guess there's a couple exceptions, but, like, not all companies that make garbage make all garbage. Does that make any sense? But I don't know. I like shitting on other people. It makes me feel better about myself. No, that's not what it is. That's definitely what it is. But I try not to. I try to only shit on things or people that really deserve it. And, like, I don't know. There have been enough frames designed that, like, if you're going to make a dumbass design choice on a frame, like Ishin, in my opinion, did with how thin those arm connection points are, then you deserve to get shit stomped. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being an angry 40-year-old, but I'm fine with it. I would like to think that you guys appreciate that about me, and it makes you laugh, and quite frankly, that's all I really care about. I don't really have any interest in, like, mass market appeal. Like, I don't want to have 1 million people watching. I just want to have the right cool people watching. I have to be a little bit careful because I got to make sure that enough people watch that I can survive, right? Like, that's sort of the tightrope that I tend to find myself walking. But I don't know. I tend to err in favor of just being me. And you guys kind of have allowed me to do that by supporting me on Patreon and with super chats and everything. And I don't know. It must be worth it if like you guys haven't gone away yet, so it must be worth it. So fuck it, I'm just gonna keep going. It's a very weird way to sort of run this business, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think of it as a business. I probably should. I would probably make a lot more money if I did, but I don't know. What the fuck? Money's never made me happy before. I've had jobs where I've made great money. I've had jobs where I've made terrible money. Typically the jobs where I make terrible money are the jobs that I'm not miserable at. And that's sort of the ethos behind this whole thing, is that I'm just going to keep going because I enjoy it. And, yeah, like, whatever. It's, I don't know. I don't know! What do you want from me? Answers? I got no answers for you. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, that's a good idea. Gel says, ditch the... Oh, actually, you can't do that. Gel says, ditch the cam plates and use 3D printed micro cam mounts on the front posts. I love that idea on any other frame, Gel, but this frame is this crazy split top plate design. And with this split top plate design, so one of the things that I actually really like about the vertical camera plates is that they box the frame in. And they do a really good job boxing the frame in. And they really make the frame a lot stronger because of because of that effect. And with this split top plate, I would not want to remove any bit of twisting rigidity. Basically, that's what they're providing is twisting rigidity up in the front here, but they're also going to do a really good job at spreading the load from the GoPro. When you crash inverted and you smack the top corner of this GoPro, which happens a lot, it puts a ton of energy downwards. And these vertical camera plates do a really good job of absorbing that energy and spreading it out on the base plate. Without these vertical camera plates, all that energy goes through the standoffs, and God knows what the hell would happen on a frame design like this without these vertical camera plates. So I really wouldn't want to like build this and then send it out in this like kind of you know, unknown, like, oh hey, here you go, it might explode kind of state. You know what I mean? It might only stand up to one crash. That's a really good idea, though, Joe. To be honest, I didn't even think of that. But if I had thought of it, I would have either not thought of. I would have either done it and not realized that I could be screwing somebody over, or I would have hopefully, I would have had that same thought. See if I can cut this heat transfer tape down just a little bit here. Remember, when you're cutting with an X-Acto knife, always cut towards your finger so that if you slip, you go to the hospital. That's important. Man cuts finger off while trying to make fun of what not to do. Hopefully not. What'd you guys think of that spot at the beginning of the live stream? Pretty dope, right? Really, really challenging spot, though. My God, there was no like flow to that spot. Like it was, yeah, I don't know. There was just kind of shit everywhere. Every time I thought like I might find a little flowy bit, there would be like a table and chair set in the way. I'd be like, whoa! And I'd have to pull back on the reins quite a bit. Other than that, it was kind of fun. Steele and Rusty were there when I got there, but then they left while I was still flying. Security guard came. He was like, you guys can have 15 more minutes. We were like, oh, shit, thanks, man. So, yeah, it was fun. I don't know. I don't think those guys like me very much. It's very weird. Such a strange... I always get a strange vibe from them. It's been like that for a long time. That's okay. Not everybody has to be friends. I've tried. I put myself out there, and then the universe, you know, does its thing. All right, so I'm going to get this MMCX plugged in here. We're going to plug it in the forward direction like this, and then it'll it'll sort of flip itself around. And I'm also going to throw a zip tie around this VTX just to make double sure that it's got some positive kind of jib-jabbiness. That's the technical word for it. All right, so let's get it kind of centered here, and I think I want it right about there. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. Oh, and I just figured out a way that I can hold the MMCX on. Okay, so if I push it a little bit farther forward, oh yeah, there's a little notch. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. I wonder if Ryan did this on purpose. So I'm gonna put it right there. Push down that heat transfer tape. Hey, Bob Noxious with a $20 super chat. He says, here's a little something for that Mac. Keep on being yourself. Thank you, Bob. That is super cool of you. I've changed the Mac fund over to an M1 iMac fund. Yeah, I think it's going to be a better idea to go iMac. That'll give me one big-ass iMac screen, and then I can use one of my old-ass 23-inch monitors here. 50 goes up to 70, thanks to the bobbiest of Noxiouses. Let me move this. Man, you can't even see this shit. Whoop, nope. That's not what I wanted to do. Come on. No, no. Stop it. Come on. No. Hey, come on. There we go. Hey! And there we have it. Man learns computers. Live on stream. When no one wants him to. Everyone wants him to do it while they're not watching. But he refuses. Look at my puffy eyes. Yo, I keep rubbing them. Tark61 says, you got the heat transfer tape from Amazon? I did, Tark. Huff19 says, keep it honest, though. I value I value that over trying to keep it nice. I know that sponsor dollars are at stake, but you can't just keep saying things are great. Yeah, Huff, I mean, the whole, like, in terms of, like, products, like, if a product sucks, I'm going to tell you guys it sucks. I don't care if I'm sponsored by the... I mean, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm sponsored by GemFan, and they very specifically told me, if you don't like a product, say that you don't like it. And they also told me, don't stop flying other people's props. And I was like, okay, I'm glad I don't have to tell you that I'm not going to do either. That's going to be the way it is with me. So, yeah. Richard says, crash 2.5-inch quad, biggest tree on our property. It took me a couple hours to climb up a 50-foot tree and not die. Don't die, Richard. Go to dronesaver.com and buy a drone saver stick so that you don't die. It's not worth dying. Spend $100 on the drone saver and you can not die. CiottiFPV says, just got here. How's it going? It's all right, Scott. Glad you're here, man. Richard Wilson says, do what makes you happy and learn to live off that income. That's basically what I've done, Richard. Yeah. That's a life lesson that I started to kind of figure out in my 30s. And it's something that I really figured out last year when I started doing this as a career. And yeah, I'm fine with it, as long as I don't get sick. WordFPV says heat transfers tape instead of VHB, besides the obvious of the name. Why? Mainly because the VTXs get hot, and I've always loved the idea of using the carbon fiber is kind of good at shedding heat, spreading and shedding heat. So yeah, your VTX will literally work better with heat transfer tape, allowing it to put that heat into the carbon fiber and use the carbon fiber as a big old heat sink. And I'm going to zip tie it down so don't have to worry about, not having VHB to properly hold it down. Corsair FPV says, I thought if you power on a VTX without an antenna plugged into it, VTX got burned. Is that smoke stopper? Will the smoke stopper prevent that? Corsair, you are right. I mean, it doesn't happen immediately, though. It happens kind of gradually. Well, actually, it doesn't really happen much anymore. Most of the bigger VTXs have thermal protection, so that if they start to get too hot, they drop their output power down so that they don't blow themselves up. So that used to be the case, and it is probably still the case with the really tiny little nano VTXs that don't have enough room for onboard things like thermal protection. But yeah, with a full-size VTX like this, you're pretty much good. It's still not good to do it. Like, you still don't want to do it. But if you do it, it's not the end of the world. I don't know if a smoke stopper would help that. It depends. Nah, it probably does, because the smoke stopper is going to limit, the Vivefly one at least, it's going to limit to 1 or 2 amps. And I doubt that even 2 amps is enough for the VTX to run all the way up to 600 milliwatts. You could probably figure that out by looking at the milliamp usage and doing a little bit of math of a VTX. But my assumption is that since this is a full-size VTX, it's got thermal protection. I didn't even think about that, to be totally honest with you, because I've been working with VTXs that have thermal protection for so long that I just take it for granted. DQ says, I love the split flame design until I crashed my T-Motor FT5 and it ripped off the middle section top plate, which the battery strap feeds through, essentially making it unflyable. Interesting. That's good to know about the T-Motor split top plate design. I really like a couple of the things that Ryan's done with this design. I don't think this design will have the same problems as that FT5. Not really sure, though, to be honest. Gel Captain says, on the Thursday stream, CiottiFPV was plugging the quad in 10 times without added VTX antenna. I just wasn't even thinking about it. I just was not thinking about that. I will check the output power on this VTX though. But yeah, for a long time now, for 2 or 3 years now, these full-size VTXs have had enough smarts to not light themselves on fire. When they get hot, they drop their output power down and they're good to go. Drone Pilot says he uploaded 3 videos, general flying. 1 gets 100 views, the other 2 get around 10 to 20. I guess people like beach more interesting than waterfalls in the mountain. Yeah, it's always interesting what people click on and what they don't. Richard says, I have a 30-foot long branch trimmer, but I still have to climb up the tree to reach up far enough. Nice. Quessy Williams says, have you ever used 30 by 30 to 20 by 20 stack converter adapter? Do you recommend them, or should I just stay completely 30 by 30? I've never used one of those adapters. They're probably totally fine. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of 30 by 30 ESCs and then 20 by 20 flight controllers. I'm lucky enough to fly a frame that allows me to put a 30 by 30 ESC in the middle and a 20 by 20 flight controller up front. On this frame and on when I build out Joshua's frame and when I build out a prototype frame that you guys can't see, I am using a 30 by 30 flight controller. I don't know, 30 by 30 stacks are not that much heavier than 20 by 20 stacks, and the 30 by 30 ES, I don't know. I'm very torn. I think it depends on the specific frame, to be completely honest with you. Like the Source 1 frame, for example, the 30 by 30 mounting holes are shared with the arms, and that's no good. So if I were building a Source 1, I would build it with a 20 by 20 VTX and a 20 by 20 flight controller stack. If it was a frame where I could do a 30 by 30 stack and those arms weren't shared with those mounting holes were not shared with the arms, I might very well go 30-30 on the stack, because I really like the Acon AK-32 30 by 30 ESCs, and I have a whole bunch of them. All that being said, once I run out of Acon 30 by 30 ESCs, I probably won't buy more unless they're cheap. I'll probably buy the 20 by 20 version of the ESC because it's been very, very durable, and it will save a couple grams. So depends on the frame. Drone Pilot says 4S or 6S at 500 milliamp is 12 watts or 8 watts. So yeah, VTX is going to fry as it is taking way less amps. VTX is going to fry. I'm a little lost, Drone Pilot. Quarter those values, I'm still having coffee. I don't know. Well, we will test the VTX. Let me actually get my Immersion RC output power tester out to remind myself of this. We will test the output power of this VTX to see if I blew it up. From what I remember, though, I was only very quickly plugging and unplugging the VTX. I don't remember leaving the rig powered on for any significant amount of time, and that's the only way that you would really damage it, is by leaving the rig on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes kind of thing. And I tend to not do that, so pretty much regardless, we should be totally fine. But they're really good. I like where your guys' heads are at. There it is. There's a little Immersion RC tester. Alright, so I'm going to leave this right here as a reminder. What he means is VTX doesn't need many amps to run it. Gotcha. Well, let's look. I'm actually curious now. Let's look at the at what that VTX runs off of. So it's a Xylo. I think I might know how to do the math. Let's see. I forget the name of the spec, but all right, let's see. So current at 12 volt. Okay, so here's what I need. Okay, so it would only really have a problem if it's set to be full power. So a lot of times they put these things in pit mode out of the box so that this doesn't happen. But so we're gonna just talk about worst case scenario, because at 200 milliwatts, it's probably a big enough VTX to stay cool and not explode. So we're only really looking at worst case scenario. If it's set at full power right now without the antenna plugged in, it's going to be pulling 250 milliamps. And I have a feeling that 250 milliamps is the same thing as 2.5 amps, maybe? I wonder if Google will... How good are you, Google? 2 amps. Are you that good? Oh my god! So 250 milliamps is the same as 0.25 an amp. Okay. So if I was feeding it 2 amps, if it was putting all that power back to the, or I mean, at least 1/8 of that power to the thing. Yeah, so technically it could have been whopping that thing up to 600 milliwatts. Interesting, good to know. Wow, it's crazy that VTXs do so much with so little. FPV Trucker says, do you use the wand for your IRC tramps? I do not, FPV Trucker. The wand, I'll never forget seeing Tommy when I first at that quad camp Atlanta way back when the guys invited me out to fly with them, and I'll never forget Tommy. It was the first time I flew with pro pilots, and Tommy was unsuccessfully trying to use the wand to get his immersion RC tramps to change channel, and it was just. It just wasn't working, and I remember being like, "Oh, okay, not gonna." It just stuck out at me, and then at some point when I started running the immersion RC tramps, I just remember thinking, "Okay, I'm not gonna try to use the wand because of the trouble that I remember Tommy having with it. Maybe that was just a fluke. I don't know, but yeah, no interest in the wand from me." All right, cool. So let me get a couple of zip ties on this VTX before I forget. Not really before I forget, but just, in general. If I go... Let's put some big boys on there. I want to make sure that... it stays. So I'm going to put some big dogs on this thing. If this one comes up like that, yeah, that's looking good. That's what I want. Although, let me do the front one first. Remy Tim dropping some knowledge about thermal protection in the chat. I'm going to read that in a second because I want to know. Okay. So yeah, Ryan put these little notches in the frame here. I don't know if he did this specifically for this reason, but they allow this zip tie to really kind of lock in and not move. Here's a little trick with these zip ties. Instead of grabbing this end and pulling really hard, what you can do is take your little needle nose pliers, grab and twist, and you can get like one click at a time. But you can impart a ton of force on there in the process of going one click at a time. So you can really get a zip tie tight by just going like that and just twist. What do you think of that? Isn't that cool? You guys didn't think I knew the secrets about zip ties, did you? Alright, so we got the front one, and I like that it's positively holding this MMCX down. This next one that I do is going to be even better at holding the MMCX down. And then whoever gets this can just drop the receiver down right on top, and we'll be good to go. Alright, and we're just going to do the same thing here, but I'm going to go downwards this time. Oh, there we go. All right. That looks pretty good there. I think that's it. Yeah, nice and tight. Kind of holding it down there. Oh, nope. It is a little wobbly. Let's get it a little bit tighter here. Come on. Don't make a liar out of me. Hey, tighten, zip tie. Tighten. Tighten down. You jerk. I just saw something that I don't love. The zip tie is kind of a little loose there. What's going on with this? Hold on, let me see. Let me cut this one off, and I'm going to try to put this zip tie the other direction. When you do this with zip ties, you got to make sure that they're not pushing on any of the components on the board, and that's what I just kind of saw that this one, I think maybe this one was doing. So I'm going to flip it around and put the head of the zip tie on the other side. You can use the head of the zip tie as like kind of a kink point. It's not a kink point. That's not the right word. It's hard to describe. Well, you know what? This one single zip tie is actually plenty. I don't really think I need this second zip tie, if I'm totally honest. All it's going to do is mash this MMCX into the... Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to stick with this single zip tie. It's a big boy zip tie, so it ain't going to break. And it's positively holding the MMCX down, which is the big thing that I'm concerned with. So yeah, we're good. I'm going to leave this single zip tie on here, and this is going to be fine. Cool. All right. Good to go. Whoever... I really need some kind of an SMA. Any of you guys dying to do some 3D printing? Can you, if you are, and you have like purple or violet, can you maybe look up QAV-S? I need a little SMA rear TPU jib jab for this guy. Call it out in the chat if you find something and you want to 3D print me something to make sure that like 20 people don't do it. Although that has never happened before. I don't see why it would now. Well, let's look together. License to Drive says, when you use Emergent RC Power Meter, can you explain it in detail what you're doing? I can. I have one, but haven't wrapped my head around how to understand its readings. Yep, I can do that, License. Remy Tim says, thermal protection will only turn the VTX down. You can still burn out a VTX at 25 milliwatt without an antenna. VTX at max power runs well under 1 amp, so smoke stopper wouldn't do anything. Awesome. FPV Trucker says, I have one in the box. I was going to give it to you. What were we talking about at the moment, FPV Trucker? I forget what we were talking about. Gel says, IRC Tramp is the most underrated but best VTX. From now on, I run them exclusively. Glad you found them, Gel. I've been running them forever, and they've never really let me down. Mr. Huggy calling out 0.25 amp, 12 volt when using 3 watts. Don Ladd says, be careful not to catch a wire on the pliers. Very true. Drone Pilot says, horses for courses use tiny zip ties, not ones for handcuffing people. I would actually definitely suggest against using tiny zip ties. I have had nothing but problems with tiny zip ties breaking, and when the VTX comes flying out, if you then try to rearm, you can really do some damage. These are the tiny little zip ties that I definitely recommend not using. I don't even recommend using these sized, I'm using my hand just to give you a reference. Even these zip ties are nowhere near strong enough in hard freestyle crashes. You really only want to use, as Drone Pilot calls them, zip ties for handcuffing people. In my opinion, you only want to use these big ass thick zip ties and the ones that you just saw me using. These are the only ones that I've ever had any luck with surviving crashes with any kind of stank on them. Christ, I've even had those little zip ties break on like really light kind of crashes. So I know Drone Pilot is more of a long range kind of guy, so he's not slamming crashes and whatnot. So he probably hasn't realized that yet with the small zip ties. But so if you're like Drone Pilot, if you're a long range person that doesn't crash, yeah, the tiny zip ties are great. They're going to save you weight. They're going to just be better. But if you ever crash, I would definitely not recommend anything other than the big ass zip ties. EBRFPV says you look exactly like me building. If I can't get it done right, I conclude it's not needed at all. Yeah. If it ain't going to get done perfect, it's not going to get done. Droidy Droid says, as a journeyman electrician, I approve your twist method for zip ties. Pro tip, place cutters perpendicular to the zip tie to remove the end, smoother cut with less protruding. Place cutters perpendicular to the zip tie to remove the end. Is that different from this? That I think that's what I do, right? Is that what I've been doing? Here, I'll give you a close look. Am I doing the right thing? Logitech, I swear to God. Logitech, come on, man. What? There you go. Is that what I'm doing? I've always done it that way because I hate when it's I hate when there's like the sharp edges on it and like you touch it and fucking it's a technical term. FPV Trucker says the wand. What about the wand, FPV Trucker? Oh, the wand. Oh. So I wouldn't even be able to use the wand because I don't put those little... You got to put that extra little jibbly jab on there. I never put that little jabbly jib on there. Yeah, the wand. That's right. That's super cool of you, FPV Trucker. I would never use it, though, as it sounds like you haven't either. Cool Coyote says, would 200 milliwatts be enough for freestyle? It is, Cool Coyote. We were actually all running 200 milliwatts at Rampage, and the amount of range that you can get on 200 is pretty damn good. 600 or 800 or better, but yeah, 200 is pretty good. Paul McDonald says, how's about this one? I think maybe Paul McDonald tried to post a link and YouTube cucked him. Tell me what to search, and I'll search for it, Paul, because YouTube doesn't let you post links. Mr. Huggy says, I prefer to use mounting boards rather than tape and zip ties. Yeah, I'm the mounting board thing is interesting. It's just extra weight for me, though. The screws and it's also like extra time. It's easy to just throw a quick zip tie. It's to each his or her own. There's no right or wrong answer there. Paul McDonald says make a cross with them. Oh, that's a good idea, Paul. That would really lock it into the into those little notches as well. But that single is going to be fine. I'm already there. That's a really good idea, though. I like making crosses with zip ties. Gel Captain says, at Paul McDonald, got you on the TPU QAV-S for your SMA antenna mount. Journey Droid says, looks clean. The flush cutters work wonders. Okay, cool, Journey Droid. I had a feeling I was doing it somewhat right. So somebody tag me if you want to do if you can 3D print me something. If you're interested in it. QAV-S. Yeah, I think. Oh! There goes Paul McDonald. Put the thing number here. I got it. Paul, what color TP do you have? Do you have violet? Do you have purple? There's the thing number. Let's see if that works. Ooh, it works. I wonder if there's something a little bit. That's a little bulky. Why is it out so far? Let me see if there's something a little bit smaller. I mean, that'll totally work. But let me see if there's something a little bit smaller. Right, and I joined an exclusive pilot group yesterday for those 40 years of age. Feels the same. Oh, boy. Getting old. Whose fucking idea was this? Let's see what else we got here. I mean, that one's totally fine, but I always look for the most minimal possible solutions here. Well, looks like there's just that one, so yeah, awesome. That totally works. Yeah. First person that, whatever. You guys work it out in the chat. Don't make sure there's not multiple people printing it. License to Drive wants to design one. I don't have the dimensions license, but can you download the one that I just was looking at and grab the can you download this one and grab the, like, basically I don't know, like, why this? There's no reason for this. Just put this piece as flat against those as possible, right? The SMA is not. Oh, that's why they did it, because the SMA doesn't fit in between the standoffs. But I don't feel like it needs to be quite that wide. That seems like it's a little too far outwards. You know what I mean? I feel like you could bring that top part right here and just have a little bit of an angle. So yeah, license, if you could, I don't know, is it too much to ask for you to take this design and just pull this angled bastard in tight to the standoffs, right? Just so that it's as minimal as possible. License, if you're willing to do that, chat, can you guys just figure out who's got violet? I would love for it to be violet TPU. That would be absolutely amazing. So if anybody has violet, Mike O just dropped one. Let's see. Yeah, hey, now we're talking. Oh, wait, you could just put it vertical. Yeah, that's the one. This is it right here. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, that's totally the one. That's the one. Chat, can you guys just whoever's got like a violet TPU, if you can fight, if you guys just want to, fist fight for the ability to print this. Why are these so, why is this so, this is so much, why is this so tall? There doesn't need to be this much TPU. It's fine. It's fine. Hold on. One of the local guys has been wanting to use his 3D printer. Hey, it's 420 if you're into that kind of thing. Go get messed up. Do you happen to have violet sane smart TPU? All right, cool. Let me see if fight to the death. Yeah, exactly. Good find on this one, fellas. This looks like the one. The only thing I'm worried about is that it's going to put it at too much of an angle down too low. Just trying to sort of visualize this. That thing has it like really far inboard. Ah, no, it's going to be fine. Well, I could lift it up a little bit. I always like to make sure that there's a good amount of so these here's a top tip for you. This part of the UFL to SMA or MMCX to SMA antenna is very weak. This part right here, right where it's between the brass and the actual wire, okay? So this part right here is very, very, very weak. So you have to make sure, and when it breaks, it's hard to tell. You'll just get shitty-ass video and you'll blame it on your VTX, you'll blame it on your antenna, but it's usually this right here, this little spot. So you gotta really make sure that if you're gonna mount, so that might be why that other mount has this so far out, but see the problem is it's going to have it so far out that it's just like stretched, and you don't want that. You really need to make sure that this part here can bend, and what you want to understand is that every single crash, the antenna is going to move this around because it's on TPU. So if this is able to bend a lot, it'll break right at that little spot there. So you really got to keep an eye on that. And you got to try to run a mount that's not going to break that spot. So now when I come back over here and I look at this mount, right? Well, so the thing that really jumps out at me in this mount, and maybe that's why these tubes are so goddamn tall, is that this should actually be pretty strong. If we look at the one from a minute ago, see, so this is way farther out, so you can just kind of picture it, right? Like in a crash, this antenna is going to bend, you know, it's going to be up at a 45. This is going to allow it to bend quite a bit, and then that's going to stress that that little part of it out. So this guy is going to more than likely perform a lot better. But like, for example, right, there's no reason to not stop this tube right here. You know what I mean? This tube should stop right here. But whoever prints this for me, I'll probably just cut it. I'll probably just use my flush cutters and just cut these tubes here, and probably on the bottom as well. Yeah, see, there's no reason to have this extra tube down here. You just cut it and save the weight of the TPU. I don't know. I'm a crazy person about weight. But yeah, this is a good one. I like this one a lot. Let me wait for the local fella to get back to me. Mike O, good call on that one. Motorref says, I don't have violet, I have red and dark blue. That's okay, Motorref. Motorref, you already printed me a whole bunch of really cool stuff, so I super appreciate that. Remy Tim says, I'll print you some stuff. I think you have the right colors now too, Daniel. I might bug you for that if the local guy doesn't come through. Journey Droid says, it's only 220 here, students appropriate, it's 420 in spirit. Paul McDonald says, post a TPU color in Discord live chat. Thank you, Paul. Paul's out flying. You jerk, Paul. Standoff size, I can remix it. I'm so jealous. License to Drive says, the vertical mount one, the tubes are only 1.5 millimeters thick. You won't save much cutting the tops and bottoms off. Good call, License. You know, if I remember to do it, if I remember to cut them off, I'll weigh them. Because I do want to get a better feel for like what TPU weighs. All right, back to work. We're going to leave this. We're just going to leave this flopping. And we're just going to keep screwing stuff down. So I think we're good to bolt down the flight controller. And that is going to take a minute because I'm going to have to do it with needle nose pliers because I don't have an M3 nut driver quite yet. Although I don't think this would actually be an M3 nut driver. I think these are actually considered, I don't know. I think they're 5 millimeter. So I think it would be a 5 millimeter driver. Oh boy. The way that they name nuts is interesting. They name them by the inner diameter, but then when you buy a driver, the driver is named by the outer diameter of the nut. So like these are considered M3 nuts because the inner diameter is M3, but if you were to buy a 3 millimeter driver, it wouldn't work. It'd be too small. Because a 3 millimeter driver is what I have here for the, oh no, this is actually a 4 millimeter driver for the M2 nuts. So it looks like it might be a 2-ish millimeter offset. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. This is an M3 nut, so I would need a 5 mil driver. Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. It's one of those things, you know. Whoa. Whoa. Hey. Stripping them nuts. Nothing like stripping some nuts out. One of the things I like about these M3 nuts is they're damn near unstrippable because they're nice and big and beefy. And they're not all that heavy. These are aluminum. These ones that I'm using here, so they're nice and light. We're into the nylock. Now we just got to keep tightening these until they just barely touch the rubber. I do that just kind of eyeballing it, but there's a little test that I'll show you in a second here once I have these screwed down to the point where I think they're kind of good. Alright, that one looks good as well. Let's get this one. Okay, alright, that looks good. I think this one might be already touching. Alright, so when you screw down your flight controller, you want to compress the gummies ever so slightly, but not very much. And here's the test. After you have your nuts down a little bit, you're gonna push down on the flight controller. That's gonna compress the grommet in the downward direction, and then when you release it, you want to make sure that it springs back and there's no gap between the nut and the rubber. And you can also play around that by pulling up on the flight controller. So you basically just want to, after you get these cranked down, you just want to take a second to pull up and down on the flight controller. And what you want to make sure is that the flight controller returns to the exact same position every time. What you don't want is to push down on the flight controller, and then when it settles back, there's a little bit of a gap above it. I'll use my hands to describe this in a second. Let me just, I'm just checking it at the moment. And it looks totally fine. All right, so let me try to use my hands to describe this. So you've got your, your flight controller, and you've got your rubber grommet on all four corners, right? And then up here, you've got your nut. So you got your rubber grommet, and then you got your nut up here. So you tighten the nut down, and you can over tighten it, and that's not good. You don't want to over tighten it, or you can loosen it too much. This is the grommet. If you have it too loose, there's a gap where my eyeballs are, right? So what you actually want to do is get it perfectly so that it just barely touches it. But what you then want to make sure is that if you push down on the PCB to compress the bottom, that when it springs back up, you want to make sure that there's no gap here where my eyeball is. Got it? If you push down on it and it springs back up naturally and there's a gap, that's no good. You gotta screw that nut down a little bit more. And then you want to push up on it and make sure that there's no gap on the bottom. Does that make sense? Anybody that doesn't understand that, tag me and I'll try to describe it a different way. DQ, Zero Fox says, I like beefy nuts. DQ says it's a 5.5 millimeter driver for M3 nuts. What a fucking pain in the ass. Hold on now. Good call, DQ. Weehaw 5.5 millimeter driver. How much is just... Come on now. Don't tell me they don't have it in the... There we go. Of course it's a whole set. Why wouldn't it be a whole set? Why would I ever be able to just buy the one thing that I need? Is 5.5 mil in here? Yeah, it is. Didn't I already buy a set of these goddamn things? Hold on. Why did it not come in the set that I bought? I'm going to go into my order history, and God knows what's in there. So I'm going to do this off the side of the... off on the other monitor real quick. Oh, look, no, I ordered a... Oh, kill me. No, wait. No, that's not it. That's weird. When the hell did I... Okay. No, I guess... I don't know. When the hell did I even order it? When would I have... Where else would I have ordered it from? That's weird. What about... eBay. eBay, do you have my back? Do you have my back here? Weehaw, 5.5 millimeter driver. Oh yeah. $10, you fucks. You thieving whores. How much is that set? Oh God, the set's $40. Eat me. Yeah, that ain't happening. $30 for this set. Man, $10 for the single. I mean, I'm all for like not wasting, but ooh boy. If I get the whole kit, I can give away the rest of them so that somebody else now has the one missing one, and they have to figure out if it's worth it to just order the one. God damn it. DQ rightly says Weeha is worth it. Yeah, they make really good stuff. T-Bird says that's what she said. He also says that's what she said times 100. Gel Captain says FC too loose means rattling, too tight means no suspension. Exactly right. Joan Pilot says that method of compressing rubbers is exactly how I do it. Compress till it starts to form, then back it off, move it up and down, check for gaps. Too hard to type out explanation. Yeah, right. Gel Captain says on Amazon, Seifel, blah 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 blah. $7. I'm already into Weeha, so it's Weeha or nothing. Ruby Tim says Ciotti buys hookers and blow off Amazon, doesn't want us to see it. It's true. Wait, no, it's not true. It's not true. That's not true. It's true. This is a 7-piece set for $10 less. Let's see if the 5.5 is in there. It is not. It is not in there. I think this is the set that I bought. Apparently, I didn't buy it off of Amazon though, but I'm pretty sure that this is the set that I bought of these drivers. And it just wasn't big enough. I didn't buy the big enough set, and I got punished for it. I'm gonna buy this set, I think, and then limited edition. Oh, limited. It's only $11, $12 more. What's limited about it? It says the word limited edition on it. It says made in West Germany on it. Is that worth an extra $10, I wonder? That's what's changing in the thing. Well, what that actually means is that these ones are probably fucking knockoffs. I have heard about Weeha knockoffs. No. I'm just gonna buy one. I'm just gonna buy the one that I want. Need. Right. And it says born in West Germany, so we're good. Okay. Nice, right? Back to work. We've done nothing. We've done some things. This goes here, that goes there. And cool. Let's bolt some motors down. You guys keep hitting me with those wonderful questions in the chat, as you tend to do. And yeah. What do we... Wow, that's a big fucking hand. Look at it. Wow, okay. Jeez. What are we, an hour and a half in? We've like screwed down a motor and put a zip tie on in an hour and a half. We should, this is a real productive live stream here today. Let me put some Loctite on these motor screws because they are brand new, fresh motor screws that I have not Loctited a dozen times before. You guys don't typically see me Loctite stuff because a lot of my shit already has Loctite kind of caked on it. So usually when I use a screw, it already has a bunch of Loctite residue on it. So don't think that I don't use Loctite. I definitely do. It's really, really, really important on these quads because they vibrate. I mean, they're sort of part flying vibrator, part drone. So yeah, definitely use Loctite on your motor screws, unless you're using TPU or plastic arm guards. In that case, you just want to be a little careful with your Loctite. You want to make sure that you're using, you're not getting the Loctite on the plastic. For anybody that doesn't know, Loctite eats plastic, so you got to keep it off of plastic. All right, got these guys cranked down. Let's take our third, get it Loctited up, and one motor will be done. Okay, and I'm a fan of only doing 3 motor screws. I always do these 3 here. Basically the 3 that are in the front, those are the ones that are going to take the majority of the abuse. On to the next. All right. And get in there. Come on. Get in there, mercury adhesives. Be cool, mercury adhesives. Be cool. Oh boy. Come on. Where is it? There it is. Alrighty. This guy. And we're going to put this one out. Oh no! Not enough in it to spill. Come on. There we go. Alright. Alright, 9 says mechanic. How tight? Strip the head off and back it out underneath the return. Yeah. Remember that shit from working on cars. God, what a fucking nightmare. I do not miss the working on the cars part of the motorsport hobby, which is kind of essential since it's expensive to have performance shops work on your shit for you. Much like this hobby, that was my least favorite part. But man, I hate working on cars so much more than I hate working on quads. Let me put it that way. It's just fucking torture, and a lot of times you're doing it in the dead of the summer, boiling your balls off in the parking lot. Like, it was just the worst. It was really nice when I was heavy into motorsports up in New Jersey, when I finally got a job making really good money and I could pay somebody to do the majority of the work on, at the time, the Mustang Cobra. And then I pretty soon after that bought the Miata, and I ended up doing a lot of the work on the Miata myself, just because it was the car had a lot less rust, and it was just a lot easier to work on. But every so often I would still pay somebody to work on that car. If nothing else, it was nice to be able to blame someone else when the shit blew up. It's obviously me being funny, but you know, having somebody that actually knows what they're doing do it. There's some definite value in that. That's for sure. And not necessarily just somebody else that knows what they're doing, but somebody else that does it for a living, right? Like, what do you guys do for a living? Okay, you're pretty good at doing that, right? Yeah, I mean, that's normal, right? You do something for 40 hours a week and you get pretty good at it. What the hell makes me how much of a snob am I to think that, like, oh yeah, I'll just start working on my car, I'll be able to do everything right. Like oh, I'll just look it up on YouTube, it'll be fine. Like, there's a lot of nuance, and I think it's really easy with working on cars to not admit to that nuance, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. And I guess on the other side of it, you could argue that there are certainly mechanics that half-ass stuff and just don't give a shit. But you know, you can find a mechanic that's not like that. You can find somebody that obviously doesn't hate what they're doing, and then that's the mechanic that you want to stick with. and they might charge a little bit more money, but, you know, do you want it done right, or do you want it done fast? Or do you want it done cheap? Pick two. Can't have more than two. Good, cheap, fast. Pick two, bros. Only ever pick two. All right. We've got Loctited motor screws, my friends. And we've got 3 of them per side, which is all you need. That's actually arguable. Michael Blade says that's how I justify it too. I need it. Jackalope says, anybody who knows how much CiottiFPV hates building quads, that says a lot. Yeah, exactly. Scott FPV says, what do you know about the T-Motor Veloce 2206.5 motors 4S 2550? Get FPV has a sale. Scott FPV, are you asking that because that's exactly what's on here? Those are what's on this rig. I don't know anything about, well, I do know a little bit about them. They are really smooth, like shockingly smooth. So you're not gonna have any jello problems with them. Unfortunately, I've never run them, and I'm not gonna fly this quad because I'm too afraid to break it. Yeah, I don't know. They seem good. They are a little bit heavy. They are a little bit of a heavy motor. So if you're really looking for something that's gonna give you really, really, really good performance, I would maybe not do them because they're just a little bit too heavy for their size. But if you're looking for something cheap that's super smooth, they might be the propeller for you. Let's throw these prop nuts on here. I prefer, I mean, I'm willing to spend the money, which is a big part of it, but I prefer the T-Motor F40 Pro 4s and Pro 2s. They're a sub 30 gram motor, which is going to give you better performance. Less weight on the ends of the arms is really a big deal. The ends of the arms move the most. You know, if you do a roll movement, look how much the ends of the arms move, right? So the weight on the ends of the arms is really important. The lighter, the better. If you do a pitch move, look how much the ends of the arms move, right? If you do a yaw move, look how much the ends of the arms move. So the less weight on the ends of the arms, the less weight the rig has to do to start and stop all of the movements. Also, when you get into prop wash, the weight on the ends of the arms is a momentum. So it's easier to beat prop wash when the ends of the arms are lighter weight. So yeah, there's that. I think we're done. Motors are cranked down. I gotta get these motor wires taped down here. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's get the top plate on. We'll plug it in. I'll drop my tune into it. And we'll do a giveaway for it. Tomorrow night, I guess. Monday night is giveaway night. This isn't technically supposed to be a giveaway Monday night, but I feel good doing a giveaway on a Monday night, right? Because that's like kind of expected. So yeah, looks like we'll do the giveaway for this tomorrow night. So if you're not on my Patreon, now's a really good time. You'll be entered to win this guy. So head on over to CiottiFPV.com and join my Patreon. Because yeah, it's good to win things. Isn't it? Isn't it? So I've got the I bought the TPU for this, so we can't use the included screws. I'm gonna put them in a bag so that whoever wins this gets some extra screwage. Ah, see what I did there? Screwage. Oh God. All right, so I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna put these 4 screws in here. Couple of extra motor screws. 1, 2, 3. Is there not a 4th? Well, you get 3 extra motor screws, but not a 4th. A couple little pieces of shrink wrap. Cool. Figure out what length we need for the GoPro mount. Probably M2 by 12 or M3 by 12 rather. Let's take a look at that thickness in comparison. So this is how I tell how long of a screw I'm going to use. I just mock it up basically, and you can kind of hold the screw up, and you can just see exactly how much thread engagement you're going to have in the standoff. See what I'm doing there? So I'm holding the screw up above that. Logitech, I swear to fucking God. Come on, man! Why? Why do you do this? Why won't you... Oh, you son of a bitch. You dirty rat bastard. I'm gonna light you on fire and dance around your goddamn grave. Okay. So you can hold it up like this, and you can just see how much thread engagement you're gonna have, right? Hold the head up above the TPU, and that's good. I like to have that much thread engagement. It really makes it kind of strong. You can sort of chase the dragon and try to have minimal thread engagement there to save a little bit of weight, but then when it strips out, you're gonna be pissed. So I don't know. I'm nuts about weight, but I'm also kind of nuts about durability. So you gotta balance those two things at times, and this is me balancing those two things. So I'm going to use this length. Let me try to get 4 that are the same, because it just drives me crazy when they're not. 12.9, 12.9, 12.9. That one's a 10.9. That one can go to hell. And another 12.9. Okay, cool. So where's the 10.9 at? There it is. You get the hell out of here. You go away. Okay, so I got those. If I have them, I'm going to try to use these little washer guys to make a little bit of a bigger contact patch. It looks like I only have the conical ones at the moment, but I probably have some conical screws in here. Yep, I do. So let's use these little conical guys instead of the button heads. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Dig, 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 dig. Okay, and I'm going to use 4 of these things, basically because you don't want to pull the... If you just use a button head on the TPU like this, eventually if you hit it hard enough, it'll pull through, and that's no good. So if you use these little washer guys, it makes a much bigger contact patch, right? That's the contact patch on the washer. That's the contact patch on the head of the button head screw. Which do you think is going to be more durable? It's obviously this one. So yeah, let's put these guys away. And we're going to use these little conical jib jabs, which just drop in to that little guy. And they look kind of nice. You know, that's a nice looking little screw top. So it just sort of looks good. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with your rigs looking good. And see, now we've still got a good amount of thread engagement. We can even check it by holding it up like that. And yeah, we got a good amount of... what am I showing you? There it is. See how much we got engaging down there? I know it's kind of upside down for you guys, but you know what I mean. You guys can smell what I'm cooking. It smells like fish. Is that really 2 millimeters longer? Is that what 2 millimeters looks like? This one is reading 14. This one is reading 12. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to check myself there. Make sure I had my shit organized properly. In the chat, Michael Blades is joining the Patreon. Good time. Good timing, Michael. Welcome to the collective, my friend. Jackalope says, fuck yes, the time has come. I'm going to win this bad boy. I know it. I got a feeling this time. You won't have to wait long. T-Bird is taking care of his Doge. Jackalope says, good point. Feels like people have to work. Ah! Looks like a good comment. Hold on. I'm not sure what we were talking about, but Jackalope says, great point. I feel like when people have to work on their cherished cars, you never hear about the struggles of the repairs or mods, but with quads, the struggle is a part of the culture. That's an interesting thought, Jackalope. I never really thought of that. That's very true. Huh. Kevin says, which is the 6S 5-inch freestyle motor? FPV cycles are still not available. Looking for a set for the upcoming. So the question is, which is the 6-inch, 5-inch freestyle motor? Kevin, so like, are you asking like, what's the motor, like the end-all, be-all motor? There really isn't one. There are a lot of different motors that have strengths and weaknesses. My personal favorite, as I mentioned a minute ago, is the T-Motor F40 Pro 4 for a whole bunch of different reasons. If you're looking to save a little bit of money, the Newbie Drone Flow 2306.5s are an amazing choice. They're the only sub $20 titanium shaft motor. Titanium motor shafts are stronger and lighter than the stainless steel ones. And typically when every other sub $20 motor has a stainless steel motor shaft. So you're going to, it's going to be a little heavier. It's going to be not quite as strong. That being said, there are plenty of other really, I mean, most motors that are available right now are really, really good. There aren't many motors out there that are kind of shit anymore. That was a thing that we were kind of going through in 2018, 2017, 2016. That has kind of evened out. So most motors are going to be good to go, but yeah, there's a couple of my favorites there for you. Haveboard says, turn autofocus off as you get the camera to focus close up, and the dark should also remain in focus. I've tried that, Haveboard. There is a Logitech settings app that should do it. Yeah, that's the settings app that I have to open up 10,000 times every single time I want to go from auto to manual focus. I tried to set this thing to just stay in manual focus, focused on the cutting mat. But then the problem is when I stand a quad up like this, everything is out of focus. So then I have to go to the application every single time. So leaving the camera in autofocus when I'm just working like this, it does a terrible job, but it does a better job than me having to constantly reach back over and go into the application and change the focus over and over and over again. When I want to show you guys something specific, I'll see if the autofocus wants to not be useless. It almost always wants to be useless, and then I'll begrudgingly launch the application and do the manual focus thing. But yeah, that's the joys of being a streamer. I would put a better camera up here. But unfortunately, like, I need the camera to be very small because, like, I reach past this all the time to get shit out of the toolbox. So I can't really have a big-ass camera here. And I also have this light source that I need to drop down nice and low. I don't need to, but I like it nice and low here so that I can see what I'm doing. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time dialing in and thinking about this setup that I've got, and yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, you guys laugh when I scream and yell about it. In my mind, you guys find it amusing that I struggle with the Logitech camera and scream and yell and curse at it. If it's just annoying, let me know, and I'll maybe stop doing it. I guess if I have to. So there we go, QAV-S. Really cool frame design by Ryan Harrell, sold by FPV Crate and Get FPV. this is going to be our 200 patron giveaway build. If you want to get entered to win this thing, join my Patreon before tomorrow night. And this is a stiff frame. And yeah, we're gonna do the giveaway tomorrow night on our Monday night stram. We get some retention on these wires just to keep them nice and flat. And we will do that with, we're going to do that with some black electrical tape. That's the simplest. No. Yeah. I don't want to mix too many colors on this thing. I was going to use red, because then I would have some purple and red action, but nah. I'm going to use black. We're going to use the fastest color. You can have any color you want, as long as it's black. Oh my god, the chat is going crazy. No, it's not. I just scrolled up. Gel Captain telling all you guys to smash the like button. Thank you, Gel. I love when you guys do it, because then I feel like less of a shill. So thank you for that. It means a lot to me. Get these motor wires nice and neat and tidy here. This piece that I ripped is way too long. But that's okay. Ooh. Nope. Nope, don't pull it off of there. Oh god, it's way too long. Oh boy. Way too long. Alright, let's just spin this guy up here a little bit like that. Oh no, now I stuck the sticky side to the sticky side. Hey, there we go. So now we got a couple layers of electric tape protection on this one. Nothing wrong with that. Oh my god, it looks so good. I love when builds are fresh. Ooh! Ooh! Yeah! Okay, we don't need as much this time. Don't need it. That's probably about the right amount. That might still be too much. Okay, motor 4, you're next. Let's get physical. What does that mean? Is it from a song or a movie or something? I think it might be from a song. Okay, just getting these nice and flat here. Around. No wrinkles. Can't have that. Can't have wrinkled electric tape. That's not allowed. It's got to be flat and beautiful, like my ex-wife. Hey-oh! Okay. And electric tape jams, that's definitely too much. What do we got going on here in the chat? Slat's in the house. What's up, brother? Ooh, Slat's finally home in Las Vegas. Very cool, man. Don't crash into a car or wall every time you take it out. I hope so. Kevin says, thank you very much, Daddy, for your help. You're certainly welcome, Kevin. Habboard says, manual focus on... At a close-up focus, the desk should remain in focus. It doesn't have, like... So, like, watch the desk, right? Well, I mean, this is a perfect example, right? The desk is in focus, and the close-up is not in focus, right? So, yeah, that's unfortunately not the case. I wish it was. I wish there was a way to force the f-stop of the camera. If the camera would allow me to force the f-stop up to like F9 or 11, then it would have a wider field of focus, and what you're saying would potentially be true, but unfortunately they don't give you any of those options in the manual control of this webcam. I have to assume most webcams don't give you that level of manual control. I'm sure there are some that do, but they're probably kind of expensive, and I run kind of a cheap, tight ship around here. So yeah, I really wouldn't be able to go in on that anytime soon, but maybe someday, maybe. Not maybe, definitely. This is definitely going to be a thing that continues to grow. Yeah, once I got some good health insurance coverage and a car and some other shit, I can start focusing more on upgrading the live streaming gear here. But I got sort of a set of priorities that I'm kind of working on, and I don't know. You guys seem to be mostly okay with the quality of these streams, so I'm just gonna kind of leave it alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of an approach, and yeah, just keep going. Keep on going. This one is getting all janky. Let me fix this one. It's getting all janked up. I cut this electric tape a little too long. Man, somebody's gonna get a pretty build. I don't usually get this nuts about the. Who am I kidding? I always get this nuts about stuff like this. All right, so if I put it down like that, now I can make sure it's. That's better. Okay, so I can do that, and then put this up over here, and then yeah, now we're talking. Now it's gonna look nice. All right, good, and this is cool too because now there's like 3 layers of electric tape protection on these arms. That's always nice to have a little bit more thickness to the electric tape. Thickness. Ed K says, for the record, I don't like your audio gate thing. LOL. Well, talk to Remy Tim because he set it up. I don't know shit about audio, but Remy Tim does. He went to school for it, so yeah, not my deal. I mean, it was my idea. I asked him to help me get the audio sounding better. So in that respect, it was my idea. But I don't know shit about audio, so I just go by what other people that are smarter than me think. Okay. Last one. Stop it. Get on there. Get on there. Okay. Pull these wires back a little bit. And get this guy wrapping around. Okay. We got that going, and this going, and then that guy's gonna come up on top. Ooh, look how pretty and self-contained and just wonderful this little fella is. I am also going to throw in the package the skids, the red light up skids, but I'm not going to put them on. All right, so let's get this thing tuned, and no. Let's see if I blew up the VTX. Let's do that here. I think I have the. So there's like an SMA to SMA cable thing. That's the technical term. It's not in here. It must be in the other little package. It's in my flight bag. Oh wait, no, maybe it's in here. Is it in here? No, that's not in there. Shit, where the hell is it? Is it maybe in here? I bet it's in here. I hope it's in here. It's a little SMA to SMA lead. God damn it. It's so that you can screw this guy directly onto the to the SMA on the quad. So it's, what is it, male to male? Yeah, it's male to male. Well, shit, if it's not, man, I don't know where else to look for it. That's not it. It's male to female. I thought it had a little bit of a lead on it. Shitters. Where would I have put that? Not something that gets used all that often. Is it maybe in the toolbox here somewhere? Or is it maybe in... Oh, I bet you it's in here. I bet you it's in here. Please be in here. Please be in here. Please be in here. Fuck, it's not in here. Ooh, ooh, ooh! Here it is. That's it. Yeah! Alright. Cool. So we take this, we screw this onto the power meter. We take the power meter, we screw it onto here. And we're going to see what kind of power, I mean, basically what we're going to see is how much power this thing fires up on from the factory. So I am going to use a smoke stopper, Vifly V2, just because it has a power switch and it makes my life easier. And let's see what happens. Put it on the 1 amp and plug it in, push the power button. Let me turn on the power meter first. I don't know if I need to turn it on first or not. Yeah, Ed, I've read your comments on my videos about what you don't like about it. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you don't like it. I don't know audio, so I just, when somebody else does know audio and they tell me the way something should be, I just listen to them. Like, Ed, are you an audio engineer, Ed? Because if you're an audio engineer and you can help me, I'll undo what Daniel did and set it the way that you want it. Yeah, so just let me know. If you're an audio engineer, I'll totally do that. It's fine. Whatever makes you guys happy is the way I want this stream set up. So 140 milliwatts, this thing, and it's slowly coming down as it gets a little bit of heat in it. So yeah, we're good to go. Let's turn it off. Turn it back on. So it's cool. It fires up to 24 milliwatts and then it jumps up to 145. So yeah, it's not blown up. Let's put VTX tables on it, and then we will I don't know, do the other things that we need to do. There's a bunch of shit that we need to do on this. All right. And so here we go. We are gonna fire up beta flight. Wait, no, let me check something real quick. I did lock the white balance. Hey, it's saved. Thanks for that, Logitech. All right. So let's get it going here. Let me do the VTX tables first. Oh, well, actually, I kind of need to look up what VTX tables are needed for this thing. So let's go to GetFPV, and we're going to search for the Xylo VTX. And hopefully in the description, it'll tell us what smart audio it wants. Is it Tramp smart audio? Is it TBS smart audio? Let's take a look here. Hey, here we go. Download the Betaflight VTX table to allow for Smart Audio 2.1 integration here. Right-click and save as to download. Very cool. I didn't right-click. I just wanted to hit it and see what would happen. So we're going to right-click and we're going to, I think, save link as, right? I think that's the right thing to do, maybe. Oh, and the computer shits the bed. Okay. Didn't, hey, there it goes. Xylo VTX Smart Audio 2 by, okay, great. And let's go to desktop, and we're going to go to Quards, and we're going to go to VTX tables, and looks like they're all JSONs, so that's good. All right, so we got that VTX table going. Let's come on in here. Okay. Oh, I don't have it set up in the ports tab yet. So, okay, so that's the next thing that we need to figure out is where to put the ports. So this is a, this is a T-Motor F7 flight controller. It's the one with the flat bottom. Where is that one at? Looks a lot like this one. Also looks like this one. Is that the one? F722? Sure wish I hadn't put the top plate down on it. Nah, I don't think that's the right one. Nah, maybe it is. Is that the right one? No, it's not the right one. Is it? Hold on. Wait, no, I have the box. I have the little box. I have the little box. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Did I put it back on the shelf? I put it back on the shelf. Hey, now we're cooking. F7 flight controller. It's the Pacer F7. Got it. 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 T-Motor Pacer F7. Oh my God, 2 hours and 12 minutes. Here we go. Let's get this finished up. Boop, 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 boop. What was I looking up? Oh, what UART for the VTX. So they had me, again, this is what's nice about doing it the way that they tell you to in the wiring diagram. I can just look at this wiring diagram and I can come over here and see that Smart Audio is on that pad next to Video Out. And then I can go up here and just... Sometimes they'll have like a guide that says like, that makes it even easier, but whatever. They don't for in this case. But that's okay, because we just need to look at Video Out, and then it's UART 3. So UART 3 is Smart Audio. Oh, shit, I don't know what to... And I guess I'll just, well, you know, I need to update the firmware on here. So this is target TMTR TMFC. TMTR TMFC. TMTR TMFC. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. TM. Oh no, there we go. TM Pacer F7. Let me make sure that the other one's not in here. TMTR TMFC. Yeah, TM Pacer F7. I mean, that's just what this is. Looks like there's no nightly for 4.3 yet. That's okay. Load firmware online and flash firmware. What's up in the chat here? Sitting in the room, background, start talking. Noted and thank you. Not an engineer. My day job is basically home AV troubleshooting. Yeah, I think what Daniel basically explained to me is that this setup is the way that all the streamers do it, the streamers and podcasters and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, if that's what, if this is what everybody else does, this is, you know, I don't know. I trust people that went to school for stuff. I don't pay attention to audio, so if for somebody else that does, if they tell me something, I'm gonna take them at their word and not, you know, not think that I know better than somebody who actually has an education in something. All right, so we're good here. Let's connect again. Apply some custom defaults, and I think it was UART3. Although I betcha it's pre-populated. Let's calibrate the accelerometer, and let's go into ports. Nope, it's not. That's okay. TR3. I'm going to assume that they're using TBS Smart Audio. I didn't see that they specifically called that out. Smart. What if I just search for the word smart? It doesn't do anything. That's great. What if I search for TBS? Nope. Whatever. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to guess at TBS Smart Audio, and then I'm going to pre-set up the pads that I pre-tinned for the receiver, which are these last two pads on the corner here below that, which are RX1 and TX1. So for UART1, I'm just going to switch on serial RX. Also, let me take a look at telemetry from the ESC. So it looks like it's on UART4 for ESC telemetry. Might as well turn that on. No reason not to. UART4, sensor input, ESC, save and reboot. Hey! All right. So that's good to go. We're going to connect again. We're going to close. We're going to come into VTX. There we go. So now we can load from file. And we can come in here and go to desktop, Quards, VTX tables, and we're going to look for the wacky one, Xylo. There it is. Open it up. And might as well dial in the bands. Put this on the proper channel. I might as well crank it all the way up to 600. And then low power disarm on until first arm, of course. That's a really important setting. All right, cool. So now the smart audio is in theory set up. Let's check it though. Let's power this thing on, and then we will. I just thought of this. We can usually I'll hook the goggles up and shit and hook the transmitter up, but I can't do that this time. So I think there's a way that we can test this. We save this, right? And we put the current values onto 600 milliwatts and R8. Let's see if that's what. Let's see if that's what it gets on the power meter. I feel like it should, right? So let's turn the power meter on. And, well, you guys aren't going to be able to see this, but I'm just going to read to you what the power meter says. So we're off, putting power to it. It goes up to 150 milliwatts, so see, it should not. Oh, well, I also did not get the second set of startup tones. That's a little weird. What's that about? Oh, I know what that's about. It doesn't have an ESC protocol selected. So it's sitting around at 140 milliwatts. Here's the thing. I have low power disarm turned on. It shouldn't be going that high. Let me turn low power disarm off in Betaflight, and I'm going to put the power setting to 100 milliwatts. I'm going to save, and I want to see what power this thing fires up to. So it's 25. Now it goes up to 560 milliwatts. So, I mean, it's definitely not blown up, but it's also kind of misbehaving a little bit, which is interesting. Let me set the power down to 25 milliwatts in the VTX tab, and let's see what happens. So it goes up to 120 milliwatts, 140 milliwatts. What if I make the change live? What if I go to 600 milliwatts and hit save? So it's at 140, hit save. Oh my god, it's at 2.8 watts. What? Oh, wow. Okay. Underrate your VTX as much. Let's go down to 200. Wow, it's just sitting at 2.7 watt. I'm going to come down here, I'm going to hit save. Now it's down to 1.1 watts. Holy hell, what is this? Now I'm going to go down to 100 in Betaflight. Hit save. Now it comes down to 500 milliwatts. Wow, they've... Either this power meter is misadjusted, which it could totally be, or, yeah, this thing is nutty. But that's okay. Okay, so we're actually kind of fine. I bet you this power meter is just not calibrated properly. Which is fine. The power meter, in my opinion, the power meter, you want to use it in the way that I just used it. Scott joined Patreon, but it won't let me join the Discord. Scott, in Patreon, you have to type in your Discord name or something. Somebody was telling me about it in the chat before. So yeah, go into Patreon, and there's a spot where it's going to ask you to put your Discord info in. I don't know. Yeah, there's a way to do it. You can probably do a quick Google search, how to connect my Patreon to my Discord, and you'll be good to go. Richard, this is the Xylo something or other. It's the GetFPV Xylo VTX. Link accounts, that's it. Thank you, Zero Fox. So yeah, the meter is really good for checking like one thing against the other. Like the meter is not for like, oh, my VTX is outputting 10 less milliwatts than it should, I'm gonna return it. Like, no. The meter is to like take two antennas right next to each other and figure out that one of them is putting out 500 milliwatts less because it's blown up. And that's what I was doing there by going into Smart Audio and changing the power in Betaflight. Let me show you what I was doing in Betaflight. So in Betaflight, I was just shuffling this around. I was taking this value and going from 600 to 200 to 100. Each time I did it, I was coming down here and hitting save. And then as soon as I did that, the power meter would jump. So we confirmed that Smart Audio is working correctly, right? Because I was able to do that shit. And we also confirmed it certainly seems like I didn't blow up the VTX, which is a good thing. So, yeah. VTX is good. Smart Audio is good. Let's do the rest of the setup. I can kill this power meter here and unplug it. All right. And put the antenna back on it in a minute. Allergic to the world. So we calibrated the accelerometer, we did the ports tab, ESC, Smart Audio, and then Serial RX. We're going to come to the configuration. This is why I'm not getting the extra beeps, because there's no ESC protocol whatsoever selected. So we're going to go to D-Shot 600. I'm going to put this down to 5% motor idle throttle, because that's what I prefer. Bidirectional is going to get turned on. 14 motor poles, 5. We are going to reverse the motor directions. We're going to turn off the barometer and the magnetometer, because nothing really uses them. Arming angle, I'm going to go up to 180, because that's how I like to set these up. The pilot name is going to be... it's going to be... What can we do that's interesting? It's going to be a big dick. It's going to be a big picture of a dick. There we go. That's the pilot name. Because I'm 8. Receiver, I'm just going to put to S-Bus, because it's probably going to be S-Bus. I'll throw it on Crossfire. I guess there's the highest chance of somebody that winning this being on Crossfire. Air mode, I am going to turn off, because I set that on a mode switch. I'm going to leave air mode turned on, because I'm the weirdo that sets up air mode on a mode switch. No, I'm going to set this up exactly as I set my stuff up, and then whoever wins it can potentially change their switches and buttons and whatnot around for my super secret method. Not really super secret, just the way that I do it. Power and battery we're going to leave alone. PID tuning we're going to come back to. Receiver we're going to put to, well, yeah, shit, I don't know what they're going to do. I feel like most people run TAER. RSSI channel I'm going to leave disabled. I'm actually going to leave all this pretty much the same because whoever wins this is going to have to do their own thing here. I am going to move auto smoothness up to 20 because it does help with jitter. We're going to come to modes, and I am going to do my mode setup, which is ARM on aux 1, Horizon mode on aux 2, in the farthest forward switch position as an oh shit, I just lost video switch. At least I can trigger the accelerometer and hopefully maybe land the damn thing. Beeper I'm going to put on aux 3 all the way down. Air mode I'm going to put on a switch, which is aux 2 in the middle and in the downward or in the towards you position. I will put some black box on here. That's aux 2 in the middle. And then we're going to go flip over after crash on aux 3 in the middle. In the bin. And then we're also going to do a little bit of launch control on aux 2 in the middle, just for funsies. And that is how I set my modes up. License to Drive says, I believe you can set what frequency the power meter is listening to more detailed than just 2.4 or 5.8. You can license. It's a little bit of a bracket. There's like a bracketing to it. Let me see. I haven't done it in forever. Yeah, so there's a little megahertz readout on there. So I have it set to 5900. Because 5900 is pretty close to race 8. So it's either... So yeah, it jumps in 50 intervals. So 5850, 5900, 5950. So yeah, 5900 is the closest to race band 8 that is available in here. And then there's this average mode... And yeah, see, so there's this attenuation. There's this 8 dB attenuation. I think that's where I may have fucked up the tune on this. I think that's why it's given numbers that are so high. But that's okay. You don't use, again, you don't use this to look at the specific amount of milliwatts. You use this to compare, to A/B compare. That's the value of this thing. In my opinion, at least. And Tony Cakes. Alright, cool. So the RF meter came in super handy. Where did I get this little piece from? I'm going to actually put it back in my flight bag. I don't care where I got it from. I'm going to put it back in the flight bag when I'm done. Alright. Really nice little tool to have. A little expensive, if I'm honest, but really, really nice to have. My problem is that I forget to use it. So, yeah. Dirty Droid says, name is going to be Big Dick. Sounds like me. I'm going to win. I think I'm going to win. Fairly Functional also saying, hey, bro, doing well, I hope. Not doing well, but, you know, just getting by. It's all... Yeah, I'll be okay. FPV Truckers just said, did you set the power levels in the VTX table? I did not. I downloaded the VTX table and the power levels were already in there. You can't, and like the power levels that you set in the VTX table, you're not actually changing any power level. You're just changing what it reads out in the OSD. Like the power number that you can put into the VTX tables, it doesn't really do anything. The power levels are set just by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which are pre-baked in there. The number that you type in, that just changes the number that shows up in the actual OSD, which is a little known fact. All right, modes are good to go. Motors we need to fire up in a minute. OSD, I'm going to give my super secret OSD setup here, which I have a CLI dump of, which is really cool. There it is. And so let's come on in here and paste it in. Save it. And now we're good. All right. Jackalope says, what is launch control in beta flight? It's very fun. So you put launch mode on a switch position that you don't use often, all right? And then you put that switch into that switch position and you arm your rig. And when you arm the rig, it'll say launch control on the VTX. And what you can do is you can pitch forward or back. I mean, you can pitch in any direction. But usually what you do is you pitch forward and you'll pitch it forward and it'll stay. And then you can zero out that stick and then you can add throttle. And at some point, maybe like 10% throttle, it'll snap out of launch mode and it'll just take off. And it's for racers. Racers can get up on a starting block like this and just bury the throttle and just go shooting off. For us doing freestyle, it's just for funsies. And it is. It's really fun. You should turn it on. You should play around with it. It's really, really neat. Launch controls is just one of those cool little things that nobody really plays around with. But once you start playing around with it, it's super fun. That's what she said. And look, now we've got an OSD. Let's put it to, we'll leave it on auto. Look, there's a big dick in the top left corner. I'm going to turn on pitch angle. I love having that in the OSD, and I put that up here in the corner. I'm also going to turn on the battery current draw. I'm going to put that right here. And I'm also going to turn on the throttle value. This OSD is now exactly as I run mine. I don't know if this camera is NTSC or PAL, so I'm actually just going to leave that alone. Leave it on auto, I should say. And we'll leave it on the Imperial system because, you know, cheeseburgers. Boop. All right. That's pretty good. We'll go to black box and get that set properly. Onboard flash. We're gonna go, yeah, we'll leave it at 1K and we're gonna put the debug mode to gyro scaled. Save and reboot. Michael Blades just joined the Patreon. Welcome to the collective, Michael. Glad to have you. Giveaway for this entire rig will be tomorrow night. So if you want to be in the running, you got to join my Patreon. Go to CiottiFPV.com, click my Patreon button, join it. You're gonna love it. Lots of really good benefits over there. Well worth the $3 a month, which is only 10 cents a day. Can't beat that shit. Am I right? I'm right. All right, so now we're going to do PID tuning. We're going to do my fairly boring PID tune on this thing. I'm not going to go on the glide rigs where I know the resonance. I will turn the gyro low-pass filters completely off. But on this one, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave this filtering a little bit more aggressively just in case the person that gets this wants to smash the living shit out of it. So I'm going to move both of these filter sliders up to 1.2. That's a good, like, safe value. I'm going to move the gyro RPM filter to 2 harmonics instead of 3, and I'm going to move the minimum frequency up to 200 instead of 100. Oh, fucker. You guys can't quite see it. Nope, that made it worse. Nope, that made it better. Wait, nope, that made it worse. Nope, that's better. Wait, no, there it is. So yeah, 2 and 200. We're going to take this dynamic notch width percent. We're going to put that to 0. That makes it a single dynamic notch. We're going to take the Q and we're going to basically double it and move it up to 250. That's going to place more trust in the gyro signal. The minimum hertz we're going to move down to, is it 80? I think it's 80. Just to cover a little bit more of the range. This actually adds filtering, but it really doesn't add much delay. And then the max hertz we're going to move to, I want to say it's 350. Let me check one of my glides real quick. Let me save this, and I want to just cross-reference this off one of my glides really fast, because I kind of stole that setup from Mark Spatz, and it's been working really, really well ever since. And I haven't changed it in a minute, so I don't remember those exact numbers. I'm pretty sure those are the exact numbers, but let me just double check real fast here. Plugging in one of my glides that's got a half of a tree attached to it. Let's take a quick look here. I believe it's 80 and 350. Yeah, 80 and 350. 80 and 350. All right, cool. That's the heat. That's the hot numbers there for a good solid frame that's gonna take some abuse. 80 and 350. I think that's where I had it, right? Good tuning, filter settings. Look at me go! I can remember things. And that's it. That's the filter tuning in a nutshell. Rate profile settings. I'll put my rates on here. What the hell? Change it. Center sensitivity as low as it'll go. Max rate is now 800. And then my expo is now 0.7. And I am running a little bit of throttle expo, 0.2. Midpoint of 0.40. Alright, there are my rates. Thanks, CMYK. Okay. And, alright, so in terms of rates, this is a squished X frame. So we're gonna really push on the pitch. What kV are these motors? So these are 1750 kV motors. So this is a 6-cell setup. I am going to scale these motors down just a little bit. I'm going to scale them down to 90%. And all right. DQ says, catering to the vast minority seems a bit of an ask from someone trying to put on a stream for all of us, most of us whom experience no issues. I'm not sure what. Yeah, I try to kind of tread the. I try to balance a little bit. Like, I don't want to. I mean, I already kind of am set up to cater to the minority, to some extent, but I try to walk the line a little bit there, and give you guys what you want, but also give you what I think maybe you need. Okay, so I'm gonna get off of these sliders mainly because the sliders don't allow you to push the pitch hard enough for a squished X freestyle build. And so what you end up with is a rig that either has too much roll authority and the right amount of pitch authority, or the right amount of roll authority and not enough pitch authority. So we're gonna push the we're gonna leave the yaw at 45. I'm actually gonna bring the roll down to 40. I'm gonna push the pitch all the way up to 50. And then I'm gonna take D-max and I'm gonna push D-max 5 points above the P gain, which is like a really nice little simple kind of rule of thumb. And on the I gains, I'm gonna sort of do the same thing. I'm gonna push the pitch up a bunch from the roll. 40 up to 85, yeah, that's fine. 50 up to 100, yeah, that ratio is still good. And then on the D-mins, I'm gonna push these up. D-mins are always kind of soft, so I'm gonna push these up a bunch to 25 and 30. I'm gonna kill this feed forward so it's nice and smooth, and that is pretty much gonna do it. Actually, I'm gonna push the D-min up a bunch more because D-min really does help. So we're gonna go 40, 50, 30, 38. Let me think about that. 30 and 38, that's roughly 20, yeah. So that's going to be a really good general sort of tune. I-term relax, we're going to bring down to 10. Feed forward transition, we're going to go up to 1. D-min gain, we're going to go up to 50. Advance, we're going to go up to 50 as well. And that, my friends, is about 90% of my tune. With a properly built, with a mechanical system that's been properly built, the motors are spec'd out properly, the props are spec'd out properly. You know, the motor and prop combo makes enough power for the all-up weight of the rig. This tune is going to work really well. This is not a super cranked up tune. It doesn't need to be a super cranked up tune when you've built the mechanical system properly. By not having a super jacked up tune, a super cranked up tune, by not having that, you're going to have a lot of leeway to bend props, to bang up motors, to fly the rig home on 2 out of 3 blades. And that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I want to be, flying a rig that's not like at the razor's edge, ready to kind of catch on fire. So, yeah, your mileage may vary if you don't crash as much as me, or if you're less lazy than me and you don't want to replace propellers all the time, or you're willing to replace propellers all the time. I like to bend propellers back straight and just put it right back out there and smash it some more. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the tune. Sounds good, Vern. It'll get out, man, I promise. Profile 1, rate profile 1, that's good to go. Receiver, I just kind of touched a little bit. Motors, hey, let's see what direction the motors are spinning. So we're going to put the Vifly onto 2 amp mode, and we should get 5 beeps now, right? Hey, I understand the risks, and let's see what direction the motors spin. First of all, the motor's spun. That's a good first step. Oh, and we can also set the digital idle. So we've got motor 1 is spinning out, motor 2 is spinning in, motor 3 is spinning in, motor 4 is spinning out. So motors 2 and 3 need to get reversed in BL Heli. Let's get that taken care of. Motors 2 and 3. And I think this is a BL Heli S ESC. Let's take a look. Let's fire up BL Heli 32 and see if it connects. No. And we're going to connect, see what happens. Thanks for the reminder, phone. Check them. And let's see what we get. Hey, it is BL Heli 32. That's pretty awesome. Oh, and we can update it. Let's update the ESC. It's at 32.8. We're going to go up here to ESC flash, and it's currently on 32.7. We're going to flash it to 32.8. So we just hit flash selected ESC and give it a little bit of time. Halfboard says, what were those rates again? I run my center sensitivity down as low as it'll go, which is at 10. My max velocity is at 800. And then my expo is 0.7. But yeah, I mean, never mind. If you want to try those, great, but don't just use my rates and then run with them. Use your own rates. Rates are a very subjective thing. Andrew Duncan with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, want to get your opinion on the Crazy Bee X F4 flight controller and 0802 17,500 motors from Tiny Whoop. Just bought my first drone. I don't really know anything about that Crazy Bee X F4 flight controller, but I can definitely tell you about the 0802s. 17,500 kV, in my opinion, is not really enough. But if it's your first rig, it's probably kind of enough. Here's the thing, 17,000, like, now that we have motor limiting in Betaflight, there's kind of no reason not to get the highest KV. The highest KV for 0802s is 25,000. So there's pretty much no reason not to buy a rig with 0802 25,000 kV motors and then just motor limit them down. All of that being said, if it's your first rig, like, it's fine. You're going to be totally fine. It's not going to be the rig that you fly forever, and it's a Tiny Whoop, so like whatever. You're just going to be ripping around inside. I am curious about this Crazy Bee X F4 flight controller though. I think maybe that's the half cut one from that comes in the mob lights, perhaps? Or maybe it's the one that I had really bad luck with. I think it's the one that I had really bad luck with. Yeah, it is. I don't love this. I don't love this AIO. But for your first rig, it's totally fine. I have impossible standards for my tiny whoops because I'm trying to carry around an Insta360 Go inside of buildings while I'm flying from like weird, awkward spots. So for your first rig, this is going to be totally fine. But I personally don't like this AIO. Which again is because my tiny whoops are a very specific thing. My tiny whoops are basically miniature Cinewhoops designed to carry HD cameras, and like nobody else does that. So for a first rig, that's awesome, Andrew. You're gonna love that, man. Beat the hell out of it, put tons of batteries through it, and yeah, you're gonna love it. Havboard is starting to play with his rates. Very cool. Yeah, that's good. Hell, maybe you'll like them. But don't just use them because I use them. Use them because they connect with your brain, and still change them. Still move them around. I think I saw it finish. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's finished. Let's check. And now we're on 32.8, and that's a good thing. ESC setup. Andrew Duncan says, another $5 super chat. Thanks again, brother. Definitely just for my own flying. Won't be recording or anything. This is to get my feet wet for a 3-inch later. Perfect, Andrew. It sounds like you already kind of get it, which is really, really good. I am going to put PWM low on 24 and high on 48. I've had really good luck with that. Beacon signal volume I'm going to turn up like I always do so that your beeper is a little bit loud. Startup beep volume I'm going to turn down so that if you plug your rig in the middle of the night, you don't wake up the whole neighborhood. Brake on stop I'm going to turn all the way up. Ramp up power. I don't know this ESC and I don't know these motors, so I'm going to leave ramp up power alone. Motor timing is already on auto. I'm going to leave it there. And that is how I set my ESCs up. We're going to right setup, and we're going to be good to go. Awesome. So now I need to reverse motors 2 and 3. So we're going to select motor 2 down here. We're going to take motor direction and go from normal to reversed, and we're going to right setup, and it'll just right to that one ESC channel. And now we're going to go to ESC channel number 3, motor direction from normal to reversed, right setup. And that's going to only write to channel 3. And in theory, now, the motors will all spin in the correct direction. But let's find out for sure. Andrew Duncan with another $5 super chat. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate your opinion, bud. Here's another 5 for being awesome and helping my knowledge curve. Very cool, Andrew. Stick around, man. Lots and lots and lots of knowledge here. Also, if you wanted, if it's easier for you to listen to these, because like I know, you know, me streaming 2-3 hours a day every day is a lot of content, but there's a lot of really good knowledge in here. For $3 whole a month, you can join the Patreon. A lot of these live streams I will make audio-only versions of on the Patreon page, so you can listen to them. I have found in my own growth in this hobby that just listening to other people talk, you pick up all kinds of really good knowledge from them. A big part of my learning experience was podcasts back when we had the FPV show, and there was another one before that. So yeah, just listening to other pilots that have been into the hobby for a long time talk for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, that's going to really increase your knowledge drastically. So yeah, for $3 a month, you can get in on that. I do, like I said, audio versions of these streams over on the Patreon, and you'll be entered to win this rig that I think I'm done tuning. You know what I want to add, though, is a little tiny bit of thrust linear. Get thrust. Thrust linear 0. I'm just going to add like 5 points of thrust linear. So we're going to type set thrust linear equals 5. just a little bit. That's just going to give us a little bit of a bump at 0 throttle in the PID loops performance. So now let's see if all the motors are spinning the right direction. And they are. All motors are going out. So now we're going to set our digital idle, and the way that we do that is to move this slider up to 10. Oh, it tripped the Vifly. Oh, the Vifly is so good. Okay, kick it back on. I turned it up a little too much, a little too fast. I wonder if the Vifly will support this at 1050. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're good. All right, so at 1050, we look at the RPMs here, and we get like an average. So we're seeing it bouncing between 2300 and 2500, 2300, 2500, 2400 and 2500, 25, 24, 2600. So we'll go in the middle, and let's just say 2400 is the middle ground. So we take 2400 and we multiply, we take the zeros off, so just to get 24, and then we take 80% of 24. So 24 times 0.8 equals 19.2, call it 20. 20 is the value that we then come in here and put into the dynamic idle. Did I say 20 just now? I hope I said 20. I did say 20. So now we've got our digital idle value. Joshua has a video on how to actually set that up, where he goes through it a lot slower than I just did, but I've gone through it a bunch of times. Havboard says, no, we got that. BH says, for a pusher configuration, 85X, let me kill this Vifly. It's getting hot sitting here plugged into 6S. I think we're pretty much done with the setup on this thing that requires battery power. BH says, for a pusher configuration 85X, do I need to swap motors 1 and 3, 2 and 4 from what they would typically look on a non-pusher build since it's upside down? No. I mean, you might have to switch the rotation, right, to make sure that if you want to run props out, you're still running props out, but you don't have to move the motors around because you're flipping them upside down. You just have to change the rotation. Good question. Shameless FPV says, what's up? Not been on the stream or been flying or charged a pack in 2 months. Sometimes life gets in the way of stuff. Checking in. Hopefully you're doing good, buddy. Might go fly tomorrow. Very cool, Shameless. Go fly for sure, man. I know life has a tendency to get in the way, but you need to make a couple hours for yourself. Yeah, I know that better than anybody at the moment. Bob Noxious is going to eat. Handle some work in North Carolina. Later collective. Thanks for hanging, Bob. Havboard says, absolutely agree. I've learned countless things from your stream. Also put me down to bug about another camera for the run cam. Havboard, how many do you want? At least 2, because if they're a short run, you break one. But do you want more than that? Havboard, I'm putting you on my note list right now. Havboard, is that your name on Instagram as well? I need to be able to get back in touch with you, and YouTube is not a good way for me to message people. So I'm gonna let me know what your name is on Instagram, and let me know how many you want. Like I said, at least 2. But if you want more than that, like I'm gonna get like 5 or 6. All right, so 2 for Havboard on. Awesome, you're Havboard everywhere. Good man. 2 for Havboard on Instagram. I added that to my notepad. If you can, get that want in front of Tommy. Ryzek says, did you already do the Patreon drawing? Nope, I'm going to do it tomorrow night. Yeah, Havboard, if you can comment on Tommy's video or just somewhere, send him a message, whatever. Just bug him to make those hybrid camera cages just so that he sees that more people. Andrew Duncan says, let's make it an even 20. I got that much worth it from your videos easily. Very cool, Andrew. I'm going to put that into this right here, Andrew, if you're cool with that, which I'm sure you are. So we're going to go from 70 up to 90. Look at the momentum. The momentum. Jackalope FPV with a $10 super chat. He says, best VTX antennas to put on a quad, maybe in bulk. Happy Saturday. Jackalope, you asked the right guy. I have broken a lot. I'm going to put that into this as well. to bring us up to an even $100 dues. Thank you, guys. And then I'm gonna do that, and there we go. Look at that nice round number. True RC is the answer. I've had better luck with their antennas than anybody else's. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's .ca because they're up in Canada. And I got possibly a little hack for you since you mentioned in bulk. So if you go into 5.8, oh no, you go into discount. Go into discount. Come on, god damn it. Come on! Why? Why do you do this to me? Okay, if you go into discount, they might still have them. Cosmetic defects. So here are the singularities. These are the best performing and the lightest weight. So see if what you need is in there. But then also, I really like these OCPs. These OCPs don't perform quite as well, but they still perform beautifully. They're a little bit heavier, but they are more durable, and they're cheaper, which is why I really like the OCPs, because I break these things a lot. So there you go, man. Go to TrueRC's website. If you do an order, do me a favor. Put in the order notes that CiottiFPV sent you, and that they should sponsor me. I talk about TrueRC antennas a lot, and I break antennas a lot. It would be really cool to get an antenna sponsorship. And Hugo is who runs TrueRC. He's a great guy. And he doesn't really sponsor anybody, but it's, I don't know. I'm sure he has his reasons, but just for shits and giggles, throw that in there, if you don't mind, in your order notes. But yeah, he's got a whole bunch of cosmetic. Here, somebody tell me where the cosmetic defect is on these. Ready? Where the hell? Here they are. All right. This is also a reason that yet another reason I love Hugo is, like, he sold me all these as cosmetic defects, but, like, there's no cosmetic defect. He's just being a crazy man. He's being a crazy, you know. I mean, I love it because I'm crazy too. But yeah, there's no. I really got a bunch, guys. Show me the cosmetic defect on these. I can't find it. They look perfect. Yeah, I don't know. They look totally fine to me. But I loaded up on them, so now I'm willing to tell you guys about that little secret. If I hadn't ordered a bunch yet, I would have hesitated before telling you guys the secret, maybe. Oh, Christ. Gotta look out for number one sometimes. License to Drive says cosmetic defects will appear when you crash them. Yeah, exactly. Drone Pilot likes the Singularity carbon fibers. If you crash a lot, though, I would warn you against the carbon fibers because that's going to stress out the UFL or MMCX to SMA connectors, so be careful. But yeah, those Singularity carbon fibers are beautiful. Zach Lothamer has been loving all the content. Just got his Tiny Hawk 2. Got to say the learning curve is steep. Definitely need more batteries, so I'm not waiting an hour between flights. Yeah, Zach, get more batteries than you could possibly ever think that you'll need. Because the other thing that happens is the batteries are going to fail. They're going to get tired. They're going to get worn out. So just buy, like, however many batteries you think you should buy. Like, kind of double that number. And yeah, man, it's all stick time. For a long time, Zach, it's all stick time. Just do whatever you need to do to just stay up in the air as much. That's the first, like, big hurdle you have to overcome is stick time. Once you get over that big hurdle and you become somewhat comfortable flying, this hobby becomes a lot more fun. But there's that initial, like, Jesus Christ, this is hard, period. And the way to get through that is stick time. I wish that I could tell you to hire me and that I could help you get through that initial thing, but I'm sure I could help a little bit, but the value that I offer as a flight instructor, a flight coach, is, like, once you've gotten to the point where you're comfortable and you want to, like, properly get good. I can help you guys get good for sure. I don't necessarily know. I haven't had the opportunity to yet, so maybe I could, but I don't necessarily think that I would be, that paying me $40 an hour would benefit you if you're absolutely brand new. I would say like within your first 100 hours maybe of flying. I don't think that's where the value lies in me as a flight instructor or flight coach. Just fair warning. Haveboard with a $10 super chat. He says, really can't thank you enough. I'm going to put that into the IMAC fund so that we don't have an even number anymore. And maybe that'll encourage more people to try to get it back to a, you know, I mean, it is still an even number, but you guys know what I mean. With money, to me, even numbers are in the 20s, right? $20 bills should be the smallest bills we're allowed to have. Drone Pilot has a cheap SWR meter. Well, not so cheap. Purchased cosmetic defects. It was a joke. Had some little tiny scuffs, and that's the cosmetic defect. He also said, I've checked the SWR on all the cosmetic defects, and all are personally fine. Very, very cool. MotorF says, do you ever use the fabric tape on your arm wires? Sorry if you answered this earlier. Thanks. I've actually never really talked about the fabric tape, MotorF. Great question. I never have. I usually run race wires, and then I'll put like a zip tie. So I usually don't run any tape on the arms. But I know that fabric tape is really good. I wish I had a roll of that fabric tape because I would use it. In theory, it's going to be a little bit more tough in preventing prop strikes, which is really, really good. So yeah, get yourself some fabric tape, guys, whoever the hell sells it. Drone Pilot says, best SWR antennas I found for the largest range are the TBS Unify Pro. However, the Singularity, even though are slightly higher SWR, give the best range. So go figure. Interesting. I'm going to have to give the TBS Unify Pro another try. I have one on the test bed build, but that's on a different VTX as well. So that's cool. I'm going to pick up another TBS Unify Pro, and I'm going to put it on one of my basher rigs so that I can run it on an even setup, which is a tramp, and then I can compare the OCP to the TBS Unify Pro. Very interesting, Drone Pilot. Thanks for calling that out. FinnFPV is in the house. He says, do you isolate the bottom of your race wires or just put them right into the carbon? Definitely insulate them, Finn. Definitely. Never put a race wire directly onto carbon. They do the bottom of the PCB is painted, so it's fine until it's not. Like if it rubs really weird, it can short to the carbon, and that's no good. So either put a strip of VHB down there or shrink wrap the whole race wire. That's what I like to do. I like to shrink. I actually do both. I shrink wrap the whole race wire, which also makes it a little bit more durable. Because when you get prop strikes on the race wires, it tends, and there's not shrink wrap, it'll knock the little LED chips right the hell off of them. So yeah, I do the shrink wrap for protection, and then I do VHB just to kind of keep it down, and then I put a either a wrap strap or a zip tie around the whole thing to really hold it down to the arm. So you got the VHB holding it on, you got the wrap strap or the zip tie rolling it on, and I'll still knock them off of there. Like, I'll still get prop strikes vicious enough and just in general crash hard enough to knock those off. But they only get knocked off a little bit. They don't get knocked off all the way so that the prop can come chop the wires. So that's the setup for me. Shrimp wrap everything, exactly. Shrimp wrap! Thanks for reminding me about shrimp wrap. CH3 and Joni Droid. James Vaughn with a $20 super chat. He says, we can't thank him enough, but we can get him that iMac. Dude, awesome, man. Thank you, brother. We are at 130. It only benefits you guys, maybe. I don't know. You guys might not want to see me in 1080 once I get onto a platform. There's a lot going on up in here that maybe 720 is hiding. You guys are very, very kind. Much, much, much appreciated. Drone Pilot agrees he uses magic double-sided tape under the race wire. Why is it magic? I think we're pretty much good here. PID tune is in a good kind of place. Dynamic idle is in there. Feed forward up at 1. Feed forward down at 51060. Receiver is going to need to be set by whoever wins it. Modes are in. Motors are spinning in the right direction. OSD is set up. Eventually. VTX tables are good. Ooh, let's make sure it has video. Let me get my goggles out and make sure that the video is functioning. And I think that'll be it. Ooh, I'm also going to plug it in to full power for the first time here. So let's see if it blows up when it gets full 6S. Ready? I'll put it on this view just in case it does blow up. It'll be spectacular. 3, 2, 1. Hey! No smoke, no fire, no destruction. Cool. Let's see if my goggles have video. They don't, but I think they're on the wrong channel. Where the hell's the knob? Not knob. Hey, there's video. Oh, it looks really good too. OSD's showing up. Sweet. All right, we've got video. Yeah. Job done. Let me spin these motors up with full voltage to just kind of give them a quick listen. And I'm going to put my hand on the quad to give it a little feel. Nice and smooth. All right. Yeah, they're balanced pretty well. These 3 are balanced perfectly. Motor 4 has ever so slightly a little bit of a little tiny bit of a vibration. With an eco motor, which is what these are, you're gonna get that. That's just sort of a part of the game. I'm used to $25, $26 motors. So you actually don't really need an antenna as long as you have the pigtail. The reason that you never want to run the VTX with nothing plugged into it is because it uses the antenna. It uses what's connected to the antenna port as a heat sink, basically. So as long as you have the MMCX to SMA or UFL to SMA plugged in, it's going to use that as its heat sink, so you're going to be fine. From what I'm told, I don't know RF, but I've heard people smarter than me say that, so I believe them. And I also have it set up for low power until first arm, which I can show you real quick. So it's only going to fire up to 25 milliwatts, which is set right down here. Oh no, I turned that off. Ooh. Ooh, okay. All right, cool. So now it's on low power disarm. But yeah, if you're only leaving it powered up for 10, 15, 20 seconds like that, you're usually fine. Although I guess it was a little bit longer than that since I did the motor check, but yeah. And again, as we were talking about earlier, the VTXs the new gen of VTXs, especially the big ones like these, have thermal protection built in. So they will ramp their power down so that they don't blow up. All right, so I think we're good, man. If it's not raining out, I think I'm gonna go fly, maybe. I have a bunch of batteries still charged from Rampage that need to get discharged. And Haveboard says, let's see that goggle antenna setup. It's just it's pretty simple. It's just a Menace RC Pico 5.8 patch, and then a True RC Singularity with the 90 degree there built in. Menace RC tested these. Yeah, so the 90 is built in. Menace RC tested. They have a video on it. they tested these adapters, the SMA to SMA adapters, and there's considerable loss in these actual adapters. So I always try to get antennas. If my antenna needs a 90, I try to get an antenna that has the 90 built in, because that prevents you from having SMA, 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 SMA. You just have the one SMA to SMA directly on the receiver. Hopefully that makes sense. That should make sense to you guys. And unplugging. And we're good to go. This rig will be given away tomorrow night. I kind of want to get this VTX hot to see how hot the carbon fiber gets under here. It's not even remotely hot right now. But I'm really curious as to how well this heat transfer tape works. Look at this sexy thing, man. All tight and tight. Man. Okay. Okay. God damn, I want to go fly this. But I would blow it up. I can't do it. I would blow it up. Don't fly it, you dummy. Just send it to someone in its not destroyed state, and then let them blow it up. Man, tight little frame. I can't wait to build Joshua's version of this, which is in that box down there. Cool. Well, that's that. That is the QAV-S 200 patron giveaway build. If you join my Patreon before tomorrow night over at CiottiFPV.com, you'll be entered to win this. We're going to do the giveaway tomorrow night on the Monday night stream. And yeah, it's going to be open to every single patron. So $3 tier, $10 tier, $50 tier, it does not matter. You will be put on the wheel to win this whole quad. And then I will be a little bit more caught up. That's pretty awesome. All right, boys and girls, I'm gonna go make myself some food and then go out and fly. Jordan Pilot says, isn't the Menace RC patch purple color the left-hand patch? I hope not. Nope, right-hand circular polarized. I run this patch, for the record, because it's purple. Apparently it's a really good patch, though. I've heard from long-range people that they like this patch. But yeah, I 100% run it because it's purple. That's important. Menace RC makes really good stuff, though, from what I've heard and seen in antenna testing. Mikhail Hagerstrom says, have you ever tried messing with EmuFlight? Bardwell's new video has me intrigued. I did, Mikhail. It was Betaflight 3.5.7 with some fancy stuff sprinkled on top. That's not a bad thing. It's just Betaflight has moved beyond that. RPM filtering is a big deal. And yeah, apparently the next version of EmuFlight will have RPM filtering. I don't know if I'll try it, though, because I'm perfectly happy with Betaflight. Betaflight does absolutely everything that I want and need it to. And, yeah, changing the names of things and just adding extra stuff doesn't really do anything for me. I'll stick with the tried and true, which is Betaflight. Betaflight has a much bigger team of developers working on it. I had some really sketchy shit happen to me with what came before EmuFlight, which I can't think of the name. Before EmuFlight, there was Butterflight. So Butterflight was very similar to EmuFlight in that it was one or two guys that took Betaflight, forked it, and screwed around with it. And both times that my right hand, both times that my right hand got chopped up were because of Butterflight. And it was basically because they didn't have a whole team of devs working on it. They had one or two guys working on it, and they skipped a bunch of shit. So that scares me about EmuFlight. And between that and the fact that Betaflight is, in my opinion, kind of perfect, I just don't. I don't really have any motivation to screw around with EmuFlight. So I don't. I just stick with Betaflight, and it just works awesome. Which is not to say that you shouldn't. If you've got the time and you're looking to screw around with something, get it. Go after it. But I'm very selective with my time at this point. And like Betaflight is awesome and I love it. And that's like perfect. I'll spend my time doing other stuff. Flying, you know, practicing, building, shit like that. Blah, 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 blah. Drone Pilot says, it's magic nanotech tape, meaning it can be removed to swap out motors and reused, and it's clear. Ah, very cool, Drone Pilot. Very cool. I think Expander's in the house. I think I'm good. FinFPV watched UAV Tech stream the other day. Some of the new features changes they made for 4.3 look really promising. Yeah, I have 4.3 on one of these rigs, and it's real good. It's real good. I'm super excited for the stable to come out. Drone Pilot purchased the 10-inch America frame. It's so solid, 8mm thick arms. Holy hell! He's got 4 Menace RC patches for the DJI goggles. Second best patch. Best is the True RC X Airs, but I use helicals for range. 5-turn death rays, large, solid lock to DJI gear. Much of that was Greek, but I think I get some of it. FinFPV says, feels like all the other options are just playing catch up. Yeah, they kind of are. Betaflight is the jam. It's the jam. All right, boys and girls, thank you for hanging out. I will turn this into an audio stream. Let me make sure I have this ready for that. So yeah, anybody that missed this, if you want to listen to just the audio of this, I will make this into a audio-only stream over on Patreon, which is also where I'm going to be giving away this entire full build tomorrow night. I will see you guys tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern. Here comes some more flying from that crazy spot yesterday. It was arguably the most difficult spot I've ever flown. Here you go. It's me talking. Talk to the camera. Ambient electro. Great. I love it. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye-bye.